866-770-560 toll-free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Miami has the Dolphins, a good old choke and cheese. Buffalo kicked some Dolphins, but it was like a bad wet dream. I lost my shirt, I lost my mind, and now I'm eating crow. Oh! So here's another version of a song that really blows. Yes, there's a Katsa-Heist Dolphins, Katsa-Heist Dolphins, Katsa-Heist Dolphins, where's my gun? Yes, there's a Katsa-Heist Dolphins, Katsa-Heist Dolphins, Katsa-Heist, make that number one. Yes. Oh!
Yeah. Swing it, on. When the Nazis reigned, they reigned before Pat Buchanan. Now the KKK have good days because of Buchanan. Yeah. If you are yellow or purple, or God forbid brown, you'll be like Mussolini hanging upside down. You can lock and load your guns with Pat in power. But if you want to kill those lights, step into the shower.
All right.
And as you're breathing the gas and your rights are slipping away, aren't you glad that you voted for Pat today? Pat Buchanan's an asshole.
10:02 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you. Oh, boy. Got a lot of stuff today, man. We're loaded with crap today. First of all, what was the name of this thing? This stupid radio...
The March of Dimes Radio Awards thing.
What,
Air Awards.
Handicap Broadcasters, is that what it's for?
The Air Awards. We never submit anything to
Of course not, to any of these things. Because we're not a bunch of suckholes here, so naturally we're not going to get voted in anyway. So they had this Radio Awards phony bogus thing here a few days ago, which I mentioned yesterday. And here's the program from this thing. Here's parts of the program. Tonight's presenters. Terry Alexander, the bad boy of radio, known for his winning, and by the way, it's got his picture here, known for his winning personality, good looks, oh yeah, charm and distinguished voice, always be taking his listeners on an unforgettable ride to WEDR's afternoon. Anybody here ever heard Tony Alexander?
No.
No. WAMR, Radio Amor's Tony Campos, who by the way George already hates because he's a Puerto Rican. And on the bottom, and I mean way down there on the bottom, oh yeah, recently named to Talker Magazine's 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Stupid Talk 940's Brooke Daniels offers a very energetic and enthusiastic program, even though there's no audience. Sometimes serious, sometimes not. Afternoon commuters can always count on entertaining company on the way home as Brooke takes on everyone from bureaucrats to beauticians, and they're being entertained because they're listening to Hank or something else and not her. She's everybody's mother, big sister, best buddy, and babysitter rolled into one. Junior, yeah. Randy Jr. Is this a joke or what? She was named one of Talkers Magazine's 50,000 most important talk hosts in America. Right below Grego and right next to a Karen Gay. Well, what I'm telling you, Pete, you have done it, man. And speaking of Pete, also another sheet rhymes with Pete. General managers speak out on their most memorable experiences. Another sheet in this program from this March of Dimes handicapped celebrity thing. Here's Jerry Russian from WEDR. Speaking of WEDR, by the way, I was talking to a good friend of mine. I don't want to mention Cheryl. I was talking to somebody yesterday. Happy birthday again to you, Cheryl. I'm sorry you had a bad time in Italy because you go with the wrong people, but nevertheless. So she said, boy, it's sure getting finster in this building over here now that EDR is moving in. Yeah, it's getting really dark over there because they got the Coast, which is kind of like vanilla anyway. It's colorless. But they got Hot 105, which is kind of like, it's like a cross between Malcolm from The Young and the Horny and who's like a medium and OJ, something like in between that. a shade in between. And now they got the very, very dark WEDR. I mean real, real black. Even Time couldn't make OJ that black. Who's somebody that's like jet black? Like an actor, actress? Who's somebody that's real, real dark? I mean real, seriously.
Wesley Snipes.
That black. That's how black WEDR is. And I said, hey, Cheryl, this is the way it always goes. First the Jews are around, and then they move out, and all the Schwarzes move in. So why should it be any different at Cox Broadcasting? And she said something about Cox Ahoy, so we had a bad connection, I guess. So here's a picture of Greg Reed. Oh, there's some classics on here. I won't even mention the picture of Bob Green with a clown thing on his head. You know, our good, close personal friend, Bob Green. Remember him, George?
No.
Here's Greg Reed, his most memorable moment in the business. Oh, must be the one that they got the pictures of downstairs, but he can't talk about that. So the one he's saying, when Power 96 came on the air and toppled Y100 as the CHR leader, that was his most memorable moment. Yeah. Did he have much of anything to do with that, by the way?
No.
No. Rana Wolf, Clear Channel Broadcasting. This is the best. Rana, I knew you were like a bimbo, but this is the ultimate. This is the best. Rana says, Rana, by the way, who used to be a 2-bit sales hole over there at INZ and at Zeta years ago, not that many years ago. Her most memorable experience was working at the #1 news radio station in South Florida during Hurricane Andrew. We were in, now keep in mind, was she working in IOD then?
No.
No, she was in INZ. Anybody who lived through Hurricane Andrew knows that the whole audience during those days was listening to WID. She says, we were able to be the eyes and ears for so many people without television and help them through some difficult times. A close runner-up was flying in Bud Paxton's helicopter. Says Rana. How do you like that? Rana the prima donna. Unbelievable. It's just amazing the way people in their minds, they manipulate and they twist and they turn and all this other crap. The #1 news station. Well, I hate to break the news to you, sweetheart. There is only one news station. Yeah, it's like, that would be like us saying we're the #1 sports talk station. At least that would be something, because there is another one, even though it doesn't exist and didn't get one diary in a rating book. But nevertheless, at least there's another one. Is there another all-news station?
No.
No. Was there back during Hurricane Andrew?
No.
No. And even though we weren't the all-news station, we still beat the pants off INZ then, at IOD. Rana, are you listening? I bet she is. I'm sure she is. By the way, good morning, Rana. Good morning, Peter. What's that sales guy, that asshole that worked for Paxton? I bet you he's still around.
Could you narrow it down a bit?
Roger,
Koch.
Roger Crotch with his thought of the day. Here's Roger with his thought of the day. Good is better than bad.
Quote of the day.
His quote of the day, yeah. Good is better than bad. Thank you, Roger, for those very profound thoughts. Oh, my God. So like I said, we got tons and tons of crap. Let me salute the great sports writer Michael Holdemayo, who's back way up on top there. What was the column he wrote about a few weeks ago? Remember I took him out of the doghouse? Even though he never apologized to my close friend Dave Halberstam because Michael Mayo is really a fascist in drag pretending to be Jewish. But nevertheless, he had a good column in there a couple of weeks ago that nobody else dared to write. It was taken directly from the show. Those are the ones I always like, when you steal from...
Oh, God!
...and write your whole column from that. And he basically did it again, although I don't talk about Paul Dees, because we have some of the people in the station with their head way up his ass, the U of M, the Hurricane athletic director. You know Paul Dees?
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he really is. But most of it's about Jimmy Johnson. All right, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy, I want to find another scapegoat Johnson. Jimmy, I'm a hard-ass Johnson. Jimmy, you better take another look at his Johnson. Oh, by the way, and speaking of that, so Joe Rosenthal this morning, just out of nowhere, takes me aside and says, I just want you to know, because you're the only person in the building that could appreciate this, that Jason Taylor's got the largest penis on the entire Dolphin team. I thought that was pretty big of him to tell me that. Yeah, I thought it was pretty big of the little dog to share that with me. And, of course, even though they never played on the same team, you do understand they do shower together. Oh, yeah. And it's Joe Rose, Jason Taylor, Danny Boy. In fact, Danny Boy and Joe Rose shower together like just routinely during the week. 9 minutes after 10 at 560 WQM.
Drag your ass away. I'll get on a bus. I'll come to your house and I'll knock till I'm blue in the face. So don't you come on knocking, 'cause I'll be waiting behind my old oak tree.
10:32 at 560 WQM. This is one of the great momentous days in the history of the human race, and I'm sitting here looking at the phone. Is there one call on there?
No.
Do they care about this?
No.
No. Can they explain it?
No.
Are they blown away by it?
No.
This is what we've been waiting for, said Jeffrey Marcy, a professor of astronomy at the University of California in Berkeley. The implications are enormous, it says. The more planets that are out there, astronomers say, the greater the chance are that we may discover life elsewhere in the universe someday. Indirect evidence already has hinted at the existence of at least 28 planets around other stars. Marcy and other astronomers deduced that from the tiny wobbles in the star's orbits, variations that could only be caused by the gravitational force of nearby planets. They're wobbling over there. Such planets are too small, dim, and distant to be seen from Earth, even with powerful telescopes. But astronomer Greg Henry of Tennessee State University last week detected the next best thing. He observed and photographed a 1.7% decrease in the brightness of a star called, rather unromantically, HD 209458, at precisely the moment predicted by Marcy and his team of planet seekers. Oh, it sounds like a minor achievement. It is not. In essence, Henry produced an eclipse-like image of a planet passing in front of its star. Henry said the achievement absolutely confirms the planet's existence. Now, you see, if we got a star, that's our sun, okay? It's a star, dummies. Unlike the Bible that says, oh, he created the stars also, like an afterthought. Like, oh, yeah, well, we see those lights up there, and he created those also just for the hell of it, just to make it pretty up there in the sky.
Oh, it was all black and stark.
Yeah, that's right. We don't want no black stuff up there in the sky. In fact, we don't want too many blacks down here on the earth. Right? Right. So obviously, if we got all these stars, doesn't it make sense? Isn't it logical? I hate to use that term as opposed to hocus pocus and boogie woogie. Isn't it logical to assume that most stars, maybe all stars, have planets revolving around them in their own solar systems? Does that make sense to you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See, this is the way I look at it. I'm going to give you another analogy, which will get that one guy and maybe some other people pissed off too. The thing about, human life being like the rose or a flower, blooming and the withering and dying, etc. That gets that guy very upset. It's like the human race is like, put yourself in a position of a little tiny ant. Little ant crawling out of the anthole. And you look around, and of course everything is just so enormous. Is there any possibility that you could really understand the magnitude of everything else that's around you?
No.
No. But that's what human beings are. That's what we are compared to the universe in which we live. Oh, gee. Well, that's no fun, because now we can't have no answers. Not yet. No, we don't have the answers. So let's make some up. And then if you don't agree with me, I'll kill you. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's right. Let's make up some wild, crazy stories about these people who lived thousands of years ago, about men who used to split the sea so his people could walk across very calmly in their sandals. Yeah, they didn't have to go barefoot. They could keep their sandals on. And about men that used to, that come back from the dead, and virgin births. Not just one of them, but a whole bunch of them. And all this other crap. All these wild, crazy stories. Like I said, and I'm waiting for all you believers out there, because the ball is in your court. See, they're always saying to me, oh, well, prove there's no God. No, I hate to break the news to you. You got to ask backward, okay? Prove to me all these fairy tales from thousands of years ago that nobody has any real written evidence of, except stuff.
My religion's better than yours.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We will beanies and big tails and never ever pay details. My religion's better than yours. Please.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We knock on doors to bother you like Fuller Brush to steal our views. My religion's better than yours.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours.
We wear ties and ride our bikes and get to marry lots of wives. My religion's better than yours.
All right.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We don't want to use our brains. We're mindless lemmings on parade. My religion's better than yours.
Boy! And by the way, for that jackball that wanted me to hang up, and I'm glad that I did. See, what is nature? Nature is like animals eating other animals. Oh yeah, called survival of the fittest. Now, what kind of God, what kind of creature would have invented that? And how come the overhead is so loud now? By the way, it's just out of nowhere. It just decided to go through the. Well, it's just the way it is in here, touchy. And speaking of touchy, I'll be honest with you, I'm getting a little touchy. I just tried to call Norma Kent. People are trying to call Center One. I mean, you just reach a point. You try to do something good. You try to do something good. For years, I raised, I don't know, millions of dollars for Camillus House, or at least there got to be a couple million. And then they got too big for their britches. Evidently, they had too much money. The homeless weren't starving. They're not out there on the streets begging and disrupting anymore. So they didn't need our money because they were too picky. They didn't want certain things that we were peddling. They didn't like that picture the Dolphins had with the black players on the horses with the guns and all that other stuff. And so finally we parted company with them. And now here's Center One, okay? That helps a lot of, the sad part of it is they do a lot of good work for people who really need their help, people who are, without money, who need their medication, who need a lot of things. Men, women, children, all kinds of people. But the problem is here again, you put yourself in a position, we had the golf tournament, we had the CDs that were all screwed up, we've had nothing but problems. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, who needs this? Who needs to go out every year and make these appearances on a weekend, tie up my weekend and stay here in town? To go out and do I benefit from it? Do I make any money from it?
No.
Is there anything in it for me?
No.
Not to mention the fact that I write a big check of my own every year, the biggest one that they get. But unless the people that you're working for, whether it's Camillus House or Center One or anybody else, want to cooperate, unless you can get a hold of somebody, we just don't have time here. We don't have a staff. It's me and George. That's the staff. We don't have the ability, the capacity to go running around all over town chasing people that we're trying to help. So, Carol, this is the last year. This is it. This is the end. It won't be for anybody, okay? I've done my bit. I've raised at least a couple, $2-3 million over the last several years. And, and I don't do it for, because we get no publicity about it. None. Zero. It don't even a line in the newspaper. Nothing. But you can only do so much, and then when you're just treated with a cacophony of sounds of people, whining about I can't get in, and I'm not knocking those people because they're right. They're trying to help us out, and they're also trying to get their stuff. Like these keychains, for example. Yeah. And I'm sitting here giving the number out and giving the number, and they can't even leave a message because the voicemail is full and certain people aren't returning any phone calls. Sorry, Carol. Adios. Have a great life. This is it. So that's all the more reason to go to Specs and buy your CDs and stuff this year. Because will there be this stuff next year?
No.
No. That's it. And again, it just serves as another interruption of what I'm trying to do here, just like that golf tournament. What an unbelievable, what a nightmare that was. And by the way, the reason that we got involved with the bad CDs in the first place, that certain people thought they could save a little bit of money and finding somebody else to do business with this year. Did we make that decision here?
No.
No, they had the decision. Oh yeah, here's somebody new and different that can save you a little bit off the cost of those CDs and all this good stuff. And that's why we went through the month and a half of frustration, and it all comes back on me, on my ass. I don't need it. I already work for assholes. This is just an extra impediment to my life. So good luck to you, Carol. Here's Boca. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how are you?
Okay.
Hey, I didn't call up to argue with anything. I don't know enough about religion or politics to even talk about it.
Uh-huh.
So why I called, I just wanted to say hi to you and let you know I was thinking of you over the weekend because my wife made baked pasta.
Okay, great. Thanks. Yeah. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-NEIL on our America line, 877-785-6345. Little green men from Mars are running around in Tamarack. Anybody care?
No.
Oh, sorry. That's right. I forgot they're foreigners. We got enough of those already. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Yeah, Neil, I don't blame you for getting discouraged. Everybody's out to lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, Donald Trump, blew into town the other night.
I don't care.
Well, he had something to say which fits in with what you're telling us.
Yes.
First question right out of the box. Do you believe in God?
Uh-huh.
I thought, oh, my God. There's a litmus test now for running for office.
Well, there always has been.
So he thought for a moment, and then he said, yes, it's necessary to believe in God in order to keep the people in control.
Ew, God!
Right.
And I damn near fell off the sofa.
Yeah, but he's still nothing.
Well,
he says he's got what it takes to be the president. Based on what? My dog could say the same thing if he could speak. Maybe he'll bark it out. I got what it takes to be president.
In his case, money and egotism.
Yeah.
But he's got it right about that. God, keeps people in control. That's where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
And have a great day. And you don't like Castro. There you go.
Oh!
He's our man. He's our man, that Donald, the Donald. And he's on those celebrity shows a lot. That's good enough for us. We don't care if there are 15 spaceships going to land right here in Florida. They're going to be landing in Jacksonville before midnight tonight with all kinds of little green men, little purple women, little purple people eaters. We don't care about that stuff. We got our celebrity shows to take care of and our football games. That's what's important, right? F&A, baby. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. That line 9 is as dead as a doornail, as useless as teats on a pencil. 877-785-6345. 11:09 at QA.
Dolphins, Hurricanes, plus Sunday and Monday Night Football. Your football superstation is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Neil Rogers.
God. Mike Disney's Jewish, would you believe it?
No.
Fleetwood Gruber, Gary Bruce, too. Henry Barrow's Jewish, could you conceive it?
Oh!
And good old Phil Costin is, too. Johnny Doc is Yiddish, can't you smell it? Lynn Strait is silly on the Garcia too. As a matter of fact, all the Cox employees are Jewish. Since I fell in love with you, Yvette Milligan.
Oy!
Since I fell in love with you, Milda Ganchinelli.
Oy!
Since I fell in love with you.
All right.
Oh, those are the days, baby. 11:14 at 560 WQAM. 567-0560. They just had 4 million little purple people eaters land in goddamn Daytona Beach. They're on the beach right now. Any interest?
No.
Okay. What's nature? I mean, what's that? Oh, I don't know. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Probably has something to do with baked pasta. Yes,
yeah.
sir. He was the best. He was the greatest.
Two things that I was going to say. The first thing I had to call you because that guy's wife made baked pasta.
They're dropping nuclear weapons on Chicago, and this guy calls to tell me, I was thinking about you this weekend, Neil. My wife made baked pasta. All right.
Well, they're dropping nuclear bombs in a casserole dish with her baked pasta in
Yeah, I guarantee if I would have eaten her baked ziti, I would have been dropping lots of bombs.
No kidding. Listen, you're always talking about how crappy now advertising is with the sports, right? Have you ever seen, once in a while I'll be watching Sports Center and they'll have on a press conference with these coaches, these football coaches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they're doing now, right? They're putting up these big blankets behind them with like the logos of the teams and the Cadillac,
Mm-hmm.
or Staples. Like,
yeah, but why are you watching that?
Well,
why
every once in a while.
Why does anybody watch press conferences?
I don't.
Well,
I'm flipping through, Neil. I'm flipping through, but I'm just saying.
Flip it real fast.
I'll tell you.
Channel 2.
And the baked pasta, too.
Okay.
I'll see you.
Have a great day. 567-0560, pound 560 on the 8. George wants to go back to North Carolina, by the way.
Oh!
I'm leaving for vacation a couple of days early.
Oh!
And goodbye, Carol, and goodbye, Center 1. I mean, we'll finish our thing through December this year because, you know, we like to finish what we start, but with absolutely no help, no cooperation, none, zero. It's like I got to fight the radio station, I got to fight her, I got to fight can't find Norma Kent, who's become invisible again. It's just too much, too much. And it's sad because in this particular case, we raise every year, we have for the last few years now, a very significant portion of their annual budget. But you know something? We've done as much as we can. Would you agree?
That
means yes. Here's the mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, George almost had it right about that being heaven, that other solar system. But it's not. The Christians are with a new excuse as to why that exists.
I'd like to know where are the Christians? Even the guy that called before, they hang up on me, please, guy. Even that guy, what is nature guy? Even he said he's not a Christian. He's just a God guy. He's one of the God squad.
Yeah,
where are these people?
They're going to come up with a new excuse
saying
that God's pissed off and fired up.
Yeah.
He's going to blow this place up and he's going to start anew out there.
They're busy working on answers. That's why they don't have any yet today. They just found this thing yesterday. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're busy formulating some responses to this, just like the NRA people. And as soon as we have the prescribed manual with all the buzzwords and cliches, we'll call you with the appropriate crap. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Cape Coral. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Calling from Cape Coral. longtime member of the Freedom from Religion Foundation.
All right.
And an out-of-the-closet atheist.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether you received your
only the atheists call about this. The so-called believers out there, they got nothing to say. Cat's got their tongue.
Well, this month's Free Thought Today's got some terrific articles in it.
Okay.
I don't know if you receive it.
Yes, I do.
On a monthly...
yes, I do.
A scientist's last editorial on page 6.
Mm-hmm.
Terrific. Also, a member of the Citizens United for the Separation of Church and State.
Mm-hmm.
There's a case before the Supreme Court now about prayer.
Yeah, I talked about that yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. I saw Barry Lynn on television last night.
Right.
Here's a good book.
They'll come up with some other way around it. You know, those Bible thumpers, high school football and prayer, and all football and prayer. It all goes together, you know.
You know what they say, defending the First Amendment is like washing your socks. You have to do it over and over again.
Yeah. Rednecks, beer, and prayer and the football. It's all one thing, you know, tailgating. Okay, have a great day before...
one thing. Here's a book I'd like to recommend.
Okay.
The Arrogance of Faith by Forrest G. Woods.
Okay.
Nice talking to you, Neil.
Thanks a lot, pal. I'll pray for you. I wonder if he's kin to Tiger. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line and on the worldwide line there. All you Christians out there, come on, we want to hear from you. Save us, please, before it's too goddamn late, before all us heathens out here burn in hell. All you good believers, all you Orthodox Yidlach, all you crazy Islamic nutcases who are busy putting your planes into a spin, into a dive. They're diving on it. 877-785-6345. Don't forget the Buddhists, too, by the way. They're rubbing it. That's why they reproduce like that. They sit there all day. They're rubbing it. Here's a mobile in North Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Okay.
If God created man in his own image, would he look like a Cro-Magnon or King Kong or what, you know? I got a next-door neighbor that went over there the other night, and he was watching a thing on the Romans on the History Channel, and somehow we got into religion. And I didn't even know this guy was into religion.
Uh-huh.
But every question I asked him, the answer was in the Bible. I'm like,
you know, what I just read, which I've done this many times before, but what I just read in the first 2 pages of Genesis would show even a little child that this is a book written by, and well, it's a series of books written by very, very primitive people who are just trying to explain to the other primitive people who were even dumber than they were about like a little child. You know, here's a light in the sky, here's another light that comes out at night, and it's so ridiculous on the face of it. And then people start quoting from the Bible to justify their positions on any number of issues and about why they treat other people the way that they do. You've got to be a lunatic to be doing these things. Yeah, they got to get the guy with a butterfly net after these people.
Right. Well, I had to get out of there quick when that started happening. But he's also an avid hunter, and got about 30 guns, 20 knives, and a compound bow. But good thing, he's a nice guy. That's
Yeah.
He's not going to go. He only shoots at animals.
At defenseless animals.
But he eats them.
Yeah, well, like Jesse Ventura said, he says he only shoots at things that have the ability to shoot back.
That's right.
Okay, have a great day, sir.
Hey, you too.
And I'll pray for you. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Line 9 is dead. 877-785, Neil. 877-785-6345. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Neil, hi.
Yes, sir.
I got back. I was in New York yesterday and reading a real newspaper, the Daily News, and you were talking about the Egyptian air crash. The headline was pilot.
This sounds like Bob Lincoln to me.
It is.
Okay. I'm going to kill myself right now.
I just thought it was another drunk.
He's becoming chronic now.
So he's calling while he's gone?
No, don't you remember the day you were still here? It was a couple of weeks ago before you went away. When a guy called about National Airlines flying to Vegas and gave us the whole rundown, and then he called and repeated part of it. Bob, please, go sell some trips. Go do some stuff. Go to Vegas. Go have another kid get married somewhere, please. 5670560. Last call here for anybody who wants to talk about important stuff. If not, to you, okay? I'm just playing music every day now. I looked in that contract. It said a radio show 10 to 2. Didn't say what you have to do. What's the point? And I know that the people are out there who all the believers, you're all out there. And then they play the games. Oh, well, don't hang up on me, and I know the games I'm sitting here waiting to have a discussion. I don't want somebody calling here prefacing anything that they might have to say for 2.5 minutes, waiting for me to hang up on them, predicting it, which they know if they keep doing that, I will. So I guess they proved their point, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877. See, and this is what's sad. This is what the proof is in the pudding, okay? Because those of you who believe in horse crap, you don't have the balls to discuss this with me. With people with little weak minds out there, with lemmings, with your kids, who of course have no choice. Oh yeah, you're giving a big song and a dance about this crap. Brainwashing, just like you were brainwashed. But you haven't got the foggiest idea what you're talking about. Oh, well, we don't know what happens when you die. I mean, we don't know what happens when you die. That's like saying we don't know what happens when you're born. Oh. We don't? Here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to let you know that we have no credible media left in this town. Over the weekend, I don't know if you saw this big South American convention they're having down in Cuba.
No, I did not, sir. I don't pay any attention to Cuba.
Well, anyway,
it's not a part of my life. I have no interest in Cuba or anything related to Cuba.
Yeah, well, this wasn't a Channel 7 report either. They said, they're gloating on the news about.
So does this have something to do with what we're talking about here today?
Well, not really.
No, okay. Here's another guy who wants to bash Cubans, okay? Call up Radio Mambi, okay, and tell them they're a bunch of assholes. Tell them whatever you want. Get an interpreter. Call up and go. And have a great day. And we'll give you Enos de Pina Shera's number, too. You can call his house and scream about bilingualism for a few hours. Here's Pompano Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, God, how you doing?
Okay.
Hey, you probably scarred that guy for life, Neil. He'd probably never had God hang up on him before.
Uh-huh.
That was a neat analogy about the microscopic rhinoceroses in your mattress, that you see in that layers and layers of life. That's cool.
Not in your mattress, on your body, in your head.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the electron microscopes.
Right.
A shot of your mattress. And
that's right. Well, the mattress, your head, whatever.
Yeah.
They're on there, man.
Yeah.
Life on life.
Neil, have you ever heard of pantheism?
No.
I looked it up one time in a dictionary. It's the doctrine that the universe...
People believe in panties?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay. The universe in its entirety is God.
Yeah. So what is that? You know what that is? There's a word for that. It's called double talk.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the science of mind?
What's wrong with the word nature? Why is that an evil word? See, I've said this before many, many times, and a guy that called before is proof of it. The reason people like to give me this song and dance, well, what's nature? And because they don't have any respect for nature, and man is the one animal that's destroying nature, destroying the environment. So it's very easy to say, well, pretend like, well, nature, what the hell is that? That don't mean anything, because after all, we got God. Nature is always God.
Yeah.
And we have no respect for it. We have no appreciation. We have no understanding. We have no respect for it.
Is God, but you can't form a personal relationship.
Sir, God is a word. Yeah. It's a word. Spelled backwards, it spells dog. And I'll take either one of my dogs anytime over some nebulous God with a long beard and a bad aim. Who every time he decides he's going to punish somebody, he gets a whole bunch of innocent men, women, and children besides because he's got bad aim. Because he keeps screwing up all the time. And because he can't get rid of that little guy with a pitchfork in the tail. Boy. Wow. Scary. It really is scary. Every day I do the show, I realize just how scary it is. It's 11:26 at 560 WQAM.
Kim Bocapper talks sports. Ends right here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Floridians, dumb as dirt.
Hillary from Arkansas, Hillary from Little Rock, Arkansas. Got the idea from Tiffador, moved to New York and run for senator. All through the state, people shout your name, Hillary! You will never beat Giuliani. No, sir! The idea seems so Hillary. Hillary from Arkansas. Miss Hillary from Arkansas, right out of the cornfield on Hee-Haw. Husband Billy is a naughty boy. When you leave the house, he'll jump for joy. Wife Wanda, now just a memory. Hillary! Hillary doesn't have a clue. No, sir! We're getting lost, so damn slippery. Hillary from Arkansas. I think you should run, honey. Well, hell yes, I do. I think you should devote all your time to it. And I'll just, I'll stay home,
I'll take care of things. Taking care of business. I'm a BTL fan, man.
Miss Hillary from Arkansas, it's the damnest thing I ever saw. You're a sweaty little goofy dog, 'cause you never have lived in New York, so change your mind, run in Illinois. Hillary! We don't believe that you're a Yankee fan. No, sir! You're a dope-beating black Democrat. Hillary from Arkansas. H-I-L-L-A-R-Y! Hillary! Hillary!
Sophisticated calculations yielded a size estimate for this new planet. Astronomers believe it's half again as large as Jupiter. Although its mass is 63% lower, a discrepancy still to be explained. In other words, it's big, but it's small in mass. Kind of like fat people. You know, some people are fat like Al Goldstein, big in mass, and other people are fat like me, but not quite so big in mass. We've essentially seen the shadow of the planet used to measure the planet's size, said an ecstatic Marcy. With this one, everything hangs together. How do you like that? And they'll probably hang these guys before they're finished, like they burned the witches in Salem. Oh, by the way, they're apologizing. Did you see that a couple of weeks ago? Oh, yeah. They're apologizing to the families, the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren of the witches who got burned in Salem. We apologize they weren't witches, and we're cleaning up history and changing it all around because they weren't witches after all. Which one? Well, I'm not really sure, but nevertheless. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
You mentioned the Camillus house before about the good work they do. I have a little expose from you. I work part-time for the Outreach Center, which is a satellite unit of the Camillus house.
Uh-huh.
I went to work the first day. They're all religious people. There's a pastor. He sits on a desk and so forth and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
The first day I'm sitting on the phone, within 2 hours, they called me up from the hospital. One of the guys got locked up. He was brought in. He happened to be one of the few guys that had legitimate identification. By the way, Daddy, do not fingerprint any of these people that come into the place. Nothing. You don't have to have any ID. The point I'm trying to make you, if they would fingerprint these people back there, you would find pedophiles back there, child molesters.
Well, but you don't understand. Just last Thursday, they started fingerprinting the people at the Archdiocese. So maybe they ought to start fingerprinting the people at Camillus house, too.
You could have the worst criminals on vacation there. They feed you. They give you a bed. They give you showers. You can stay there for 2 or 3.
In between crimes?
Between crimes. That's absolutely correct.
Well, I got news for you. I'm all through doing charity work. I mean, I do it because I believe in it. I thought I was doing something good. I'm not going to do it anymore. We can put out the best of Neil, and we can sell it for cost. You know, why do we need to give the money to charity? We can sell it for cost, or we can give the money to needy people like me and George. I mean, you know, what difference does it make?
But you see in the paper,
I'm all through with charities because either what you do isn't the right thing, you're not selling the right thing, they don't agree with the philosophy of it, or exactly. Who the hell cares about show business?
All the politicians,
let them
they
get Terry Lewis to do it.
They get dressed up, the politicians, Thanksgiving. With all their makeup, the mayor of Hollywood comes down, stands there for 2 hours and throws them food.
Right.
And of course, the newspaper.
Well, you see, when you're raising money for homeless people, and the charity starts getting too picky about what you're peddling to raise the money with, at that point I said, okay, well, if you got that much money coming in there, you don't need our help, then we'll go help somebody else.
But there was one woman, she was the office manager, and I asked her, casually why she does this. There's not a lot of money. She says, I feel God, something moving within me, directing.
So I told her
she needs to see her optician.
Right on the way down the colon, right on down the way through the Hershey Highway, and thank you. So I guess you don't like Camillus house. Is that what he was saying?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm all through with charity. That's it. I'm all done. I'm going to become my own favorite charity. 567-0560, pound 5, and not for lack of trying. I'm not looking for any brownie points because, like I said, never got one word credit in any newspaper, even on the restroom wall, okay? And wasn't looking for that. But at least give me some cooperation, huh?
No.
Okay, goodbye. That's it. Goodbye, Norma. Have a great life. Just float away, please. Leave me alone. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Coral Gables. Hello. Let's go to Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Boy, did that finger fast today or what? Yes,
sir.
Man,
he hardly got 2 words, and that was great.
Yeah, and doing a very poor job, too, by the way.
I'm calling because I thank you so much for reading that article about the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to address the asshole that wouldn't want to have a conversation with you before. I mean, does he really believe that this is the only sun, that there's a planet the exact right distance away with all the right ingredients out of all those billions of stars that are out there?
In addition to which, who knows what ingredient? There's life on the poles, in the North and the South Pole, deep under the ocean, on the ocean floor. They're all different kinds of life. Some of it needs sunlight, some of it doesn't.
I was watching a program, probably the same one that other guy had called about the 400 billion stars in just our galaxy. They think there might be life on one of those moons that are going around Jupiter,
right,
underneath the water.
Yeah.
And just the humidity.
You know which moon it's on, don't you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that one. That's right.
I mean, if there really is a God, why would he give us the ability to discover these things and to learn these things if...
No, see, if there were a God and he was going to tell mankind about things that were beyond our scope, we didn't have telescopes, we had no technology back in those days, and then it was in the Bible thousands of years ago, then you'd say, aha, this was a revelation that man couldn't have known. But he didn't tell us anything that the average schmuck couldn't have seen. Oh, there's a big light up in the sky, it's out during the daytime, and there's a little light up. And of course, these people thought that these lights only came out. They didn't know that it was a sun and it was a moon. They just thought that these were lights up there, like flipping on a goddamn light. Of course, they didn't have no light bulbs.
And how long did they believe that light was revolving around us rather than us revolving around him?
Now you're going to get the Pope pissed off again. He's going to have to apologize again.
But you know, it's funny that you read those verses. A few weeks back on one of the, I think it was Encore, had Dino De Laurentiis, the Bible on there, and they started out with all of that, first day he did this, for a second day. And I'm just sitting there shaking my head saying, Jesus Christmas. How many of these people out there believe in
Jesus Christmas. Isn't it pathetic?
It's
talk
crazy.
About charity and talk about people ripping other people off. How many billions of tax-free dollars? There wouldn't have to be one starving person. This is the real sin. There wouldn't have to be one man, woman, or child, even with all the overpopulation we got, starving in this world, if all that tax-free money and all the wealth that these so-called religions have got would go into taking care of those people.
Amen, brother.
Okay. I'll pray for you. 5670560. Is this line working today or what, by the way? Yeah, it's working. Just want to check. Not that I'm paranoid about the phone lines. Like I said, we'll do the best we can the rest of November, all of December, because I'd like to finish what I start for Center One. We hope you go to Specs and buy the stuff. And if you want to call that number, maybe somebody will call you back someday or not, as the case may be. But I'm doing the best I can on this end, That's all I can do. And I wind up being in the middle with the golf tournament, with the phone calls that nobody returns. It's very frustrating. Like this radio station, you try to do something good. Did they give you any support?
No.
Did they give you anything to work with?
No.
Did they give you anything?
No.
A helping hand?
No.
Gland?
No.
No. Kick in the ass?
No.
Not even that. Not even that. Barely even a glimmer of recognition, because it's not a sports show. Were you here when the hour-by-hour numbers came by? Is that after you went on vacation?
No, I was here.
You saw that sheet.
I saw it.
We were both wearing it, as a matter of fact, that sheet.
Over our heads.
Mm-hmm. In fact, it reminds me of that Thai restaurant in Pembroke Pines. Sheet Relata. Yeah. 21 before noon at 560 WQM. It's so sad, For the same price. For the same price. I could be sitting somewhere where there were people that oh yeah, let's talk about that. That's pretty interesting, No. My wife made baked pasta this weekend. I was thinking about you. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm leaving right now. I'm going home and making baked pasta. Doesn't that sound good? Yeah, nothing complicated about it. You don't have to think. You just throw the pasta in a pot of boiling water, a little olive oil in there, maybe a little salt. Yeah, put a little bit of pasta, put a little sauce on there. You load on your mozzarella. Your mozzarella, I'm sorry. We're not talking Guido talk. Mozzarella. Pop that baby in a little casserole in the oven, 350, for about 45 minutes, hour and a half. 20 before noon at 560 WQ.
The dingo ate my baby.
All right.
Every good Christian knows a game to play. It's not so very hard to do. The name of the game is the Bible says. If you interpret it the way we do, tell people you know the way. Invite them to your house. Take their possessions away. And then you burn it down. You can get somebody to believe anything if you make the Bible say it's true. No matter what you do, you can be guilt-free. The Lord will always forgive you. Pick up a poisonous snake.
All right.
Wave it all around.
Word.
Find abortion clinic and shoot a the doctor down.
Everybody, play along with me, okay? Come on, you young Republicans.
Beat the crap out of your kids. You're Deuteronomy bound. Go on a pilgrimage and pass the Kool-Aid around. Fight off the chicken's head to make a sacrifice.
14 till noon at 5:60. WQM. We got Hank at Pool City today at 2 o'clock. 6 o'clock tonight. We got Boog Shambi, monster in the sports business. Eddie K with the Chronic GA show, 10 o'clock tonight. Firm evidence is found for a faraway planet. For the first time ever, astronomers capture photographic evidence of a distant planet passing in front of its star, of its sun. Its sun. And those planets, by the way, are revolving around their suns. And maybe their daughters, too. How do you like that? Galileo, we apologize, by the way. The Pope wants to apologize again. It's a little bit late. Maybe we can dig up his remains and apologize to them. What do you think, huh? Sounds good to me.
Uh-huh.
We're sorry. We apologize. Just like the witches that they burned in Salem. We're sorry about that, too. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line as we continue banging away and banging away, whether it's the goddamn baked pasta or whether it's some stupid goddamn football game, and Jimmy did this and Danny did that. The same old one-dimensional assholes, man. It's terrifying. It scares the living crap out of me. Which is good to keep regular, though, by the way. That's one thing about this show. It'll really keep you regular. Here's Boynton Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir, I'm listening, but I can barely hear you.
Just wanted to talk about the religion thing. I'm a fallen away Catholic, and my family was all brought up in the Catholic Church, education, and so on. The thing that bothers me on the religion thing is that when a family member or a close friend gets real sick, they turn to religion, and they seem to get a lot out of it. And my daughter is very religious too, and
Why?
She goes. She just does. She goes to church every Sunday, and
Why?
I don't ask her. I just know that that's the way she feels, and I don't like to interfere with her personal feelings.
Yeah.
She knows how I feel about it. I told her. In fact, for a while, I used to say I belong to the Church of I don't know. And then I heard you earlier saying it's not that you don't know, it's that like some people say, well, I don't know because there could be a God, there couldn't be a God, but I don't know, and I'm not going to voice my opinion one way or another. And that's kind of the way I've been lately. But I heard you the other day talking about, you take an ant, put it in a bottle, and, in a couple of weeks later it might just disintegrate, but it doesn't go anywhere. And we're talking about heaven and hell. And,
Like the kid that called yesterday about Walter Payton. Well, we don't really know what happens after you die. Of course we know what happens after you die.
You go into a box.
Yeah, we dig up those Egyptian mummies from thousands of years ago. Guess what? They're still in the box. Yeah, they're still not saying too much. They're still not crying for mummy anymore.
Yeah. My question to you is, with close friends and family, should you even discuss it?
The less said, the better.
Yeah.
The less said, the better. I mean, as far as family is concerned, I think when kids, when you're raising your kids, you let them pick their own poison. You try to do a good job, let them pick their own poison. But certainly, if you got any kind of common sense or decency, you don't brainwash them as if you've got some kind of answer or all of the answers, which most people do, unfortunately.
I know, like my daughter, she has 4 children now. And,
just like this crap about interreligious marriages. What the hell difference does it make? What difference? Fairy tales. If 2 people love each other, what difference does it make what fairy tales they've been brainwashed with? Just another way to keep people apart. Just another way to separate people from each other and make them hate each other. And have a great day. Thank you. I'll pray for you. And your daughter, I'll pray for her a lot. 5670560, pound 5. And like I said, not one believer. It's almost noon now. I brought this story up like 10:15 this morning. Big, major goddamn story right on the front page. It should have been in the upper right-hand corner of every newspaper. But, of course, they're more interested in, exciting blood and guts. Oh, some lady got killed on the highway. People get killed on the highway here every goddamn day. That's the most important story in this town?
No.
I don't think so. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, 877-785-NEIL. 785-6345. We're still waiting for an explanation for all our believers out there about all these other solar systems, all these other suns or stars, whatever you want to call them, and all these other planets revolving around these stars. And of course, we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg yet. This is the first time we've actually seen that we actually have evidence. But like I said about the little ant crawling out of the anthill and looking around, and oh my God, what's all of that? What's all this? And that's how we are. But we just don't want to admit it because we're arrogant and we're egotistical and we're self-serving. And we have no respect for nature. But other than that, here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil, how are you?
Okay, sir.
Well, first of all, I'd like to tell your listeners that they all suck because no one gives me the information that there's a major traffic accident on 95 in Broward, or Sunrise, I guess it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Taking me about 45 minutes to get from Broward to Sunrise on
95 going which way? North?
North, yeah. It's, I don't know what the hell happened, but I see all the whirly birds all flying.
I think the audience is gone. They're all listening to the two alive Jews there on WAF, and that's where they all are.
Right. Well, I got a couple other things I want to talk to you about. First thing is the religion thing. I wasn't one of these people raised in this Catholic environment and all this. I was raised in I guess they call it Protestant, where your family's Methodist in the South. And, we didn't do the church every day, but, we did the church on Sundays and, the whole bit. But, I've started thinking about it myself, and I've come to the conclusion that my best friend is a quadriplegic. He's always a good kid, and he got hurt in an accident, and he's paralyzed for life now. If there is a God, why would he let someone like that, that was a good person have that?
Happens all the time. Happens all the time.
But if God's up there...
Just remember what they say in Christianity, good works alone won't get you to the kingdom of heaven. There is no incentive to be a good person. There's no incentive. If this crap about if Hitler would have accepted Christ on his deathbed, he's going to heaven. So what's the motivation? What's the incentive just to be a decent, caring person if this God that they've made up doesn't give a crap about those things, just what kind of fairy tales he can coerce you into believing?
Right. It's like the kids that are born to the AIDS mothers and the kids have AIDS.
Right.
The kids never did anything wrong.
That's
Why
right.
would God punish them?
Exactly.
If there is this...
How about all the people when we had the flood, all the innocent people? Not everybody on the planet could have been bad then. They couldn't have all been evil, but he was just pissed off. So except for that old drunk in his family, everybody got killed. Even the animals got killed.
Right. That doesn't make sense.
Except the ones that were busy messing up the ark.
If I could just change channels here, I got one other thing
sir.
I'd like to vent about. I have a 16-month-old child, and he's one of these kids that has the chronic ear infection. We've been going to a pediatric. We're not going to, I'm not going to slam the doctor on the air. I'd like to, but I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
He put us on 9 antibiotics before we finally begged him to give us a referral to go see a specialist. 9 antibiotics, Neil. Do you know what that does? That makes him immune to antibiotics.
But why would you keep going back to the same quack?
Because we're on a HMO, and that's our primary care physician, which is a bunch of crap. Trust me, it sucks.
HMOs suck.
And I don't know if I think George has a child.
It sucks.
George has a child, I think. I don't know if he's ever been through this, but I talked to the guy that works next door to me, and he said, oh, yeah, my son had 2 ear infections, and they sent us to the ear, nose, and throat specialist, and they, took care of it. And I'm like, this guy's giving us 9 antibiotics to try to take care of an ear infection. It's just, I'm pissed, and I'm sitting here in traffic watching these damn Canadians in front of me that don't know how to drive, and I just wanted to vent, and I hope you have a wonderful goddamn day.
Welcome to Florida. And I'll pray for you. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Fort Myers. Hello.
Neil, God.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I don't know if you got problems over there. We have a lot of problems over with Jehovah's Witnesses. Man, these people... Yeah,
okay, well, listen, call me back on a real phone when I can understand what you're saying, okay? Because it sounds like you got a real, like an Argyle sock over it in the phone, too. Okay, sorry about that, sir. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-6345. How about those dolphins? Oh! How about that genie? Oh! That's what they're all worked up and pissed off and fired up about. You better get with it, mister. You just don't have your priorities straightened out. You better get with the pogrom. Here's North Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's pretty simple why you don't believe in God. I think it's because you're a homo. Don't you think that's the reason?
Yeah, that must be it.
I mean, if I was a homo, I wouldn't want to believe in God either. I mean, that's basically a unnatural thing.
Yeah, unnatural, yeah.
Yeah, you talk about nature and, how humans don't want to hear about nature, but do you think that's natural?
Well, let me ask you something. When a man has anal intercourse with a woman, is that natural?
That's not the point, sir.
No, sir, I'm asking you a question now. When a man has anal intercourse with a woman, is that natural?
No, that's not natural.
Okay, thank you. So quit fudge packing. 5670560, pound 560. So it always comes back to that. He's got no support of his own, but it must be because you're a homo. That's why you don't believe in God. Does that have anything to do with it?
No.
No. Although, of course, the fact that you use the Bible to, not just homosexuals, but blacks, women, anybody else, to spread hate. That's what it's great for. Oh, well, the Bible says it's the same book. That's what you're upset about. It's the same book that says those silly things right in the beginning in Genesis that I read an hour ago, that are so obviously written by primitive, ignorant people. And you're going to make judgments about, well, God says this is evil. Hey, get serious, man. Again, you're using a book to justify your prejudice. Isn't that novel?
No.
Wow. And by the way, I got this great book here you'd like to read. Peter DeRosa, Vicars of Christ, The Dark Side of the Papacy, which has got a tremendous history of the Crusades and the Spanish Inquisition. I mean, unbelievable. Oh, you'll probably want to read this.
I'll borrow you.
Okay. It's unbelievable. From all the good God people like you. They weren't killing homos. They were just killing anybody who wouldn't go along with the program. How do you like that, sir, my God-fearing friend? Yeah, we're afraid of them, all right. We're afraid of anybody who believes in that crap. 4 minutes before noon at 560 QM.
Ed Kaplan knows the scores. Starting at 10 till the last game ends. Weeknight, only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
WQAM, football down. It's a feeling of thing. Emphatically he denied he was venting his mind. He ain't a feeling a thing. He ain't a feeling a thing. Don't care about what he ever did. George pushed you back when he was a kid. It was a slavery thing. George Jr. scored in someday. He wants the White House to be all in, like a big-shot rich guy. So he can't admit he feels like George comes from the backside of his life.
Oh!
That's the way it's all. I don't know but he denies it today. George Bush will never get him to say. He was a favorite thing.
Georgie Bush says that his nose is clean and never puts up in it.
'Cause he's running for the White House, so he just can't admit it.
Stone drunk and that's not all, he even downed a few speedballs.
In college any drug would do, he even dropped some acid too.
Why won't Georgie just come out and simply say he did it?
He prefers the press would shut their mouths.
But it's none of your goddamn business.
He did more than what you think.
But he washed it down the
Does
sink.
he prefer cocaine to hash?
That's the question that he does.
Can he make his point much clearer?
Like a razor on a mirror.
But he wants us to believe
that he didn't do anything.
Georgie Bush says that his nose is clean and never puts stuff in it 'cause he's running for the White House. He just can't admit it. Georgie's clean, Georgie's clean, Georgie's clean.
Put the right one there, baby. All right. I'm just in that kind of mood today. We're giving a little bonus action for you. 12:02 at 560 WQAM. By the way, let me again recommend, I'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll save it. We got too much important stuff going on here today, even though the cat's got everybody's tongue, especially the believers out there, the people. Michael Mayo, when the going gets tough, the leaders get childish about Paul Dees, but especially about Jimmy.
He's an asshole.
Oh, yeah, about Jimmy. Nice going there, Michael Mayo. You're almost back on our good list. If you just do that apology, man. Is he going to do it?
No.
Come on. God damn it. David Halberstam and all the decent people in this town want an apology for that grotesque...
I will not give it to you.
Bastard. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-NEIL. Have we had any calls from, out of town today or what?
Like,
I don't mean
real out of town,
out of the
Fort
state.
Myers that you know.
Out of the state. Now, one call from out of state? They just discovered there's life on Uranus.
Was that Ethica call today?
Oh, that's right, the very first call. See, you're so solemn. It was a good living and breathing young guy, a college kid.
It just seemed like it was 100 years ago.
Yeah, you're right. That's before we got into all this religion crap. Oh, we turned it off when you started. Too bad. Too bad. Am I going to stop talking about it?
No.
No chance. No way, Jose. In fact, when I go on vacation, George is going to be talking nonstop anti-religion. In between the swing club stuff. That's right. I'm telling you right now. And more power to him, God damn it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-6345. I fought, I screamed, I yelled, I raised holy hell to get that goddamn line, and there it is. Boy, I think we're out of business, I really do. I think I'm talking to myself. Of course, I've been saying that for 20 years. Here's Tamarack. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 30 years ago, I found out there was no God when I was in the war. And there were guys praying, and I said, man...
And they brought him back in body bags.
Man, there is no... I mean, they say, the old adage, there's no atheist in a foxhole.
Now, how do you like this guy before that called about the guy that wanted to be hung up on, about he prayed for money. God helped him with money. But when it comes to getting your crap blown away, you don't have time to worry about that.
Didn't Oral Roberts pray for millions of dollars?
That's right. Well, but God told him to do that.
Yeah, of course.
He gave him a deadline.
The thing about it was I brought my kids up without religion. I mean, I was fighting the grandparents, both sides, Christian and Jewish, the whole way. My kids are now in their 20s, and I find your own way. I have one kid, he's intrigued with Satanism because he can't figure out why people believe in that crap, okay, on top of it. And I just told them all along, I said, it's for people who basically won't do for themselves. I mean, I didn't know what to say.
Just like Jesse said, it's for weak people.
Exactly.
A crutch for weak people.
The funny thing is that on Sunday when you see that God answered the prayer of a football player, but yet there's people, he didn't stop that
boat. The foxhole, he didn't hear their prayers. They're better than crap, but the football player. And by the way, you notice that the football players on both teams could be praying to the same God, but it all depends on which team God's got the bet on, who wants to cover the split.
On TLC this whole week, I think, late at night, there's a special all about evolution. It's something from the BBC, I think, where we come from the primordial soup, bubbling up from the middle of the earth.
Yeah, and you can smell it,
from the bacteria and all. And,
you can smell it.
I think all the God people should watch it in education.
Well, they're full of it. I can probably relate to it.
Okay.
Have a great day. I'll pray for you. Yeah, primordial soup. And, of course, why do you think when you have a movement, I'm not talking about Beethoven either, why do you think it smells like that? There's all that bacteria in there. There's all that festering. I mean, it's lunch hour right now, which we're not eating because we had a nice breakfast today from All-American Subs. I mean, from Atlantic City Subs. I mean, from... what is their name again? I've got a mental block on it.
Atlantic City.
Well, that's Atlantic City Subs. That's what I just said. I put an A in front of it. You like that guy, Atlantic Coast Mortgage guy. What's his name? Don't even mention it. Yeah, he's good buddies with Todd Dreck, I think. Anyway, 567-0560. Here's a call from St. Mary's, Georgia. Hello.
God, Neil, I miss you.
Neil, God!
Yes, sir.
Hey,
how's the Virgin Mary doing? Is she up there this week?
Wonderful. I tell you what, when you get sick of getting shot at and run off the road, you can come up here with us.
Okay. And I'd fit in real good up there in Georgia.
In Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the only thing we got
I could hang out with Billy Carter and go pee on the side of buildings and stuff like that. Isn't he dead, by the way? I think Billy Carter's dead. But anyway.
No, we're not that far north. We're almost up here with the Jaguars.
All right.
I tell you, and as bad as that can get. But it's wonderful being out of South Florida, and I don't miss it for a second. The only thing I do is miss you.
Yeah. That's what they all say. Every time somebody leaves here, oh, gee, we sure miss Neil. The rest of it, we can have it, but we miss him.
See, that's the whole
of course, while they're here, though, they don't have anything to say, but nevertheless.
We didn't listen to you for 2 minutes while we were down there. Now we can't get enough of you.
Exactly.
All right, man. Hey, have a good one.
Have a great life, pal. And say hi to Mary on your way to the bank. Yeah, Virgin Mary, she's hanging out there in St. Mary's on her way to, what's that place in Georgia? Athens? No, not Athens. It's Conyers. Conyers, Georgia. And John Conyers up there in Michigan, he's pretty pissed off that she can't at least get up there to Michigan once in a while because there's a hell in Michigan. Yeah, I think it's Ypsilanti is what it is. By the way, how about that Tommy Brady? I think Jim Mandich owes me one, okay? I told you that this kid, not only does he look good, but he's a real stud. I told you, man, you owe me. Well, it's really something this year. I'm rooting for Michigan. God almighty, it's terrible. Rooting for Michigan. Not when they're playing the Spartans, of course, but I mean, I have a rooting interest now for Michigan, which never would have happened in the past. I was squeezing myself when they beat Penn State on Saturday, Michigan. But of course, you know the way I am. I'm a sucker for a good-looking young guy. I'm looking for whatever it was he said in here. What the hell did he say about him? Huh? Something about,
he is a stud.
There you go. Well, man, sometimes the Mad Dog's a little slow on the uptake, but...
He is a stud.
There you go. 9 minutes past noon at 560 WQAM, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-6345. Are we alive? Are we alive?
No.
I don't think so. I think this town is you can smell it, like you said. I think that, you know what we ought to have for lunch? Primordial soup. Yeah. Yeah, heat it up to a nice, like kind of, not lukewarm, just a little beyond lukewarm.
Simmer for 2 million years.
Yeah, simmer for 20 billion years. And then just stick your nose right in it. Wow. That's worse than Josh Friedman.
DNA.
That's worse than Friedman. Maybe that's what his problem is. Maybe when he had the staples in there, some of that primordial soup started seeping out. We need to get the staple singers to pray for Josh Friedman. We'll pray for you, Josh. 1209 at QAM.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
You're being very difficult with me this morning.
You think black marrying someone's alright. A big black smell, especially a big shot between your thighs. Screw on. You don't think blackmailing a charity's wrong. $2 caller and call anybody if this guy is posting strong. Something feel right. What froze up your appetite?
Rectum.
Watch last night.
Roy.
Something don't feel right.
Screw you be the bitch I bang tonight. I'll smack your head and bruise up your body the way you like.
All right.
Screw ass. You get my mojo long and strong. Give charity money to OJ and don't care if it's wrong. You blonde and you white, you just be my type. The kind of bitch we like. Yes, you know how to do it right. You got a date with OJ tonight. Yo.
12:15 at 560 WQAM. Firm evidence is found for a faraway planet. Oh my God. It just, and like I said, and you notice not only have we had any believers calling in, except that one idiot with his lonely $50 from God, but also the Egypt Air crash thing that I talked about the conflicting stories, totally diametrically opposed yesterday to today, with the same evidence. Totally opposed, right on the front page of the same newspapers. And what do they got to say about that? What do they got to say? Yeah. And this is with, like I said, all the technology we've got today, all the modern technology. Same old tired responses. Oh, you don't believe in God because you're a fag. Oh, and I'm my wife made baked ziti this weekend. That's it. That's the response. Yeah, that's a good response. That's a good way to deflect it. Yeah, my wife made baked pasta this weekend. That's a tremendous way to deflect the obvious. Maybe the Virgin Mary brought it to the house. I don't know. Maybe she's into that good crap. She was Italian. How could she have been Italian and Jewish? There's some Jewish Italians in Rome. What am I talking about? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-6345, all over the universe, all the way out to 59 trillion miles away. Maybe we'll get a call from out there. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello. Pembroke Pines.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
First of all, 30 years ago when I studied high school physics, I already had come to the conclusion there's planets everywhere. There's no reason there wouldn't be. The same laws of physics that apply to this part of the universe apply to the rest of the universe. What's the deal? All right, meanwhile, I'm 2/3 of the way through Hitler's Pope. Have you actually read the book?
No.
Oh, my God.
I don't have a copy yet.
I will be happy to give you mine as soon as I'm done. I'll bring it past by and drop it off.
Great.
I grew up in that era, being taught to revere this man. He had his picture in every classroom in the Catholic schools I went to.
He was very pious, at least in name anyway.
Oh, my God. He is personally responsible for over 380,000 people going to Auschwitz.
All right.
Oh, yeah, really.
Yeah.
All to protect his, the Vatican. And he didn't want his Vatican City to get scratched.
That's right. It would have been bad for business.
Oh, my God. Insane. Meanwhile, in Catholic high school, I lasted into my...
But you do remember, not just a year or two ago when they had the earthquakes there in Italy and poor St. Francis of Assisi there, he's all been out of shape because all that artwork and everything all crumbling,
Exactly.
Must be God's revenge.
More stuff they lost. The reason I packed it in, I did in junior year high school, I literally quit Catholic religion in a rage and walked out of the school and the whole thing. I did the one thing you are not allowed to do in religion. You know what that is? I'm sure you know. Question it.
Oh, ask questions.
Oh my!
You were asking questions?
And the thing is, especially about the stupid Bible trash, which made no sense to me, and I'm asking what I thought were intelligent questions, being a student of science.
No, you know what you're doing? You're a troublemaker, sir. You're not supposed to ask. Don't be a troublemaker, man.
You're cracking me up. I was just about to say that to you.
That's
what
right.
they did, Neil, is they called my parents at their respective
Your
jobs
son is a
and told
troublemaker.
them I was a troublemaker.
Exactly correct.
My God, you got it on the head. And that's when I quit. I just roared out of there in a rage. And you know something? I'm a decent person. I don't need religion to tell me what to do. And I don't know. And as far as I'm concerned, in closing, if anybody really believes that crap, just watch Channel 45 for a while.
There you go. Just watch that bad makeup job.
Oh my God, the guy who pushes people over, makes them fall backwards.
Yeah, right. Benny Hanna.
What the hell his
right.
name is? It's hysterical. Anyway, the whole thing is, and you can live your life without it. You really don't need it. It is a crutch. Jesse said it all. And by the way, in closing, Jesse, forget the presidency. I think he should be king.
There you go. Okay. Have a great day. He can be king. I'll be queen. Not his, though. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, that America line. That's sitting there dead as a doornail. Oh, my God. We got the answers to the creation of the whole universe here today, and nobody wants to talk to us from anywhere. 877-785-NEIL. I really feel sorry for myself. You thought I was going to say for somebody else, didn't you? I feel sorry for me. Because, like I said, for the same money, I could sit here every day and say these things and really get a response. But I'll take the money, thank you. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
At what stage of your life did you realize you were fudge packing?
There's a good response for you. Fine. I don't fudge pack either, by the way. In or out. How about you, sir? My heterosexual friend. See, that's all a response that they can make is another attack. Faggot, maricon. Yeah, and what's the point? So what's that got to do with the price of rice? So was Michelangelo. That's why he spent all his time up on the ceiling. It was dangerous down there on the floor. He didn't need a ladder either, by the way. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. 877-785-NEIL. 877-785. See, they get very angry. They get upset. Instead of having a rational conversation, because they can't defend the fairy tales, especially after I read a page or two of that nonsense, that silly childish crap. They can't defend it. So attack me. That's it. Back to you, pal. Pack this. Oh, I do love fudge. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
First off, Billy Carter died in 1983 of liver disease.
Oh, yeah. I wonder why. Yeah, he's been dead. But he did used to pee up a storm outside.
On the runway,
he was like my dogs. He used to at least pee outside most of the time.
As for that guy who couldn't figure out why his daughter was religious and so religious, did she start driving herself to church? Who indoctrinated her to the whole thing?
I don't know. I didn't want to go into the whole life story, but evidently, no, he said he gave her a choice, and she did her thing.
Well, if
maybe they live close by the church.
Right. If all the kids were let not get into religion until they were 18 or 21, there would be no more religion. You got to get them while they're young.
Mm-hmm. That's what Hitler said.
I'm out of material now.
Okay, thank you. That's what Hitler and the Pope both said. Of course, they had a lot in common, as we now know, which, of course, we always knew, but 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, and that line, I'm not giving that number anymore on that thing. It's a waste of time. Too bad you weren't here last week, George, when we had a couple of days. It was great, exciting. But remember, that was like Paxton, too, that time, for about a day or two, and then the novelty wears off, and the 10 people we got listening around, they've called and said their thing, and that's it. See, in order to get calls from around the rest of the country, you have to be on the air around the rest of the country, not on the Internet somewhere where people trying to get through AOL without getting cut off. And please, no more of that, no more computer nerd talk. That was like the end of my life there yesterday. Oh, God, no wonder I hate computer nerds so much. But it was a good example of what I'm talking about again today. Talk to a whole bunch of different assholes, and they all give you a different story. Not any two of them tell you the same thing. Here's a mobile in Oakland Park. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm with the Church of Chaz over here, and it's got
the Church of Jazz McKay.
Church of Chaz, and I'd just like to say
what is that?
It's it's a private sector.
Private sector. What does that mean?
Well, we try to encourage our pupils not to really pay much attention to your show, if we don't tell them not to listen.
What is the church? What is the Church of Chaz? What is this double talk you're giving me, sir?
All I can tell you is...
Yeah, okay. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. And by the way, all your students are listening right now. How you doing, guys? Let's do Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I have a complaint about lousy service in Miami.
Good. Okay, well, call up 911. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, 877-785-NEIL. Even in Palm Beach, they ain't calling on that line today. Even in Fort Myers. We had a couple of calls in Naples. All of a sudden, we're getting too many calls from Naples, a few too many. I wonder where that station signal really goes. You know, do they have a signal over there in Fort Myers? Probably not. Probably saving energy today. Plus, they don't want this anti-religion talk on over there in Fort Myers today. They probably shut the damn thing off. They probably put that preacher back on again. Here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
God.
Speaking.
Okay, there's only two gods I know of. You happen to be one. The other one would be Dan Marino. And I guess I was raised a Southern Baptist, but it was never pushed on me. I was never forced to go to church.
They never pushed
We went
it on
a couple times when I was a kid on Easter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now I have my kids.
Did you do the ashes thing on your forehead or not? I guess only the Catholic.
No. We weren't Catholic. None of that.
Thank God.
I send my kids to a Christian school, and because the public schools are just forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
My kids getting a great education. The only part I don't like about it is the religion part.
Just tell them that's all a bunch of crap. That's all.
It's just so heavy. The stuff that he brings home,
Heavy duty.
and has to read and memorize, and it's like, you know, he's in second grade and he's trying to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, and then he's got all this religion right on top of it, you know. And I hate trying to force it on him, and I'm not trying to force it on him, but I just want him to get a good education, and he's not going to get it in a public school.
Mm-hmm. Pretty sad.
It's very sad. But anyway, all those people that are believing those fairy tales, believe me, if it was true, you'd know it, because there's a lot of people praying to God, and they're dying just like everybody else.
He's just got a hearing problem. He says, you know, when you get that old, I guess your hearing gets weak.
Yeah.
What was that?
Anyway,
okay, listen, have a great day, pal. Okay. 25 past noon at 560 WQAM, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-NEIL. Line 9. Everybody else is doing okay today. Line 9. Not that it really makes any difference, but I hate to see that thing go to waste when I screamed and yelled and hollered so much, and I'm praying to keep that bill way up there for them. These cheap bastards. I'll tell you one thing. If there is a hell, I know who's going to be down there, okay? The Wanna Beasleys and Greg Reed, they're going to be burning in there with certain other people in the building. I don't want to mention no names. You know what I'm talking about? There will be some people in this building burning in hell. Well, I don't want to mention no names, you know. Make no mistake about that. Oh, wouldn't that be my luck, huh? Wake up and there she is. 26 past noon at 560 WQAM.
Wake up with the first team.
No.
Joe Rogan, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein. Weekday mornings at 6.
No.
Only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
He was his ward, not his pedophile.
Hanson, 1997. Hanson, 1998. Flash forward to Hanson, the year 2000.
You want fries with that?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, 12:30 at 560 WQM. Why do they have to put that thing on the end? It was so good up until that. They could have put something more entertaining like... So anyway, this came over the facts. A couple of parts of this are old and moldy, but it's kind of cute. A new priest at his first Mass was so nervous he could hardly speak. After Mass, he asked the Monsignor how he had done. He replied, when I'm worried about getting nervous on the pulpit, I put a glass of vodka next to the glass of water. If I start to get nervous, I take a sip. So next Sunday, he took the Monsignor's advice. At the beginning of the sermon, he got nervous and took a drink. He proceeded to talk up a storm. Upon his return to the office after Mass, he found the following note on the door. 1. Sip the vodka, don't gulp. 2. There are 10 commandments, not 12. 3. There are 12 disciples, not 10. 4. Jesus was consecrated, not constipated. 5. Jacob wagered his donkey, he did not bet his ass. 6. We do not refer to Jesus Christ as the late J.C. That's old. 7. The Father, Son, and Holy Ghost are not referred to as the Daddy, Junior, and the Spook. 8. David slew Goliath, he did not kick the S.H. out of him. 9. When David was hit by a rock and knocked off his donkey, don't say he was stoned off his ass. 10. We do not refer to the cross as the big T. 11. When Jesus broke bread at the Last Supper, he said, eat it, for it is my body. He did not say, eat me. 12. The Virgin Mary is not called Mary with the cherry. 13. The recommended grace before the meal is not rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub, yay God. And 14. Next Sunday there will be a taffy pulling contest at St. Peter's, not a Peter pulling contest at St. Taffy's. All right, there you go. Not bad.
A couple new ones in there.
Yeah, a couple new ones in there. 1232 at 560, 5670560, pound 560. Here's a mobile in Fort Myers. Hello.
Neil, how are you?
Okay, sir.
Very good. I don't know, you've probably talked about it. I apologize, I was out of town yesterday. Have you spoke about Dogma yet?
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. I haven't seen it.
It's worth seeing. Have you seen any of Kevin Smith's other movies?
No.
Okay, well, I think you'll enjoy it. It's kind of pokes fun at religion and not too bad. Get out and see it.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm surprised they're letting him know. I should have asked him if he actually saw it in Fort Myers. You think they're showing it over there?
No.
Probably had to go out of town to see it. Maybe to the big city, like maybe Venice. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Christians have no answers for Neanderthal man or their dinosaurs in Noah's Ark. If you watch the Discovery Channel, they show you how evolution with Neanderthal man, Homo erectus, and things like that.
Homo erectus?
Homo erectus.
God.
It's funny because there was a cartoon in Plantation had when Neanderthal man met Homo erectus and Neanderthal man's bending over. It was pretty funny. But the thing about
Oh my God.
But the dinosaurs, Christians have no answers for dinosaurs. If all the animals were on the ark, there should be dinosaurs walking around. And the thing you read
Barney.
about Genesis, the Bible says the earth was made before the sun. I mean, the earth revolves around the sun. That's impossible. It's just all nonsense.
What do you mean it's impossible?
No, I'm saying no.
First of all, stop and think about this. Talk about a sexist piece of crap written by men. Man, God created man, okay? How did he make woman? Out of a rib.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous.
Out of man's rib. In other words, he created man like all out of nothing.
Yes.
Just spontaneously. And then all of a sudden, he's lonely. We'll have to have a woman. So out of his rib. In other words, like an afterthought, like an appendage.
You're right. And he also knows the future. He knew they were going to eat the apple before he
knows
even
it
made
all, man.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
right. That's right. Because he's a sadistic bastard. Have a great day,
Bye.
and I'll pray for you. Any women today, by the way?
No.
No, see, women don't want to touch this because they're the ones that send all the money to Jim Baker and Tammy Faye and Paul Crotch and all those other people with the bad makeup and Benny Hanna. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Yep, you women out there, God didn't think too much of you guys. Not at all. Just like an afterthought, he's got to have somebody to screw around with. So, we'll reach in there and grab a rib. I don't understand that. He created all the sea creatures. He created all the life. He didn't have to do that out of anybody's rib, out of hip bone, shin bone, all that other good stuff. Yeah. But women, women were like kind of icky, Ridiculous. I mean, just the writings of juvenile, silly people. Oh, well, the book says this. Yeah, you don't even read the book. If you read the book, I'll tell you one thing. Want to get a few good laughs, read the goddamn book. Yeah. Here's Miami. Hello.
Yeah, hi. Is it Neil?
Yes, sir.
I used to go to church right before my son was born, constantly every weekend. And once he was born, I go to the church and ask him, would you baptize my son? Once they found out that I wasn't a paying member, they literally told me, well, first thing is you don't live in our area.
You're out.
So we can't baptize your son. So you need to find your area and become a paying member in order for us to baptize your son.
Give him the Bafangula.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, I stopped going to church, and because the thing is, I always thought God was free. Supposedly, he's supposed to be free and for everybody. But now the church tells you.
Yeah, but no, it's only the best things in life that are free. Religion costs you.
Yeah, definitely. And that's about all I really have to say.
Okay, good luck to you, pal. 567, we got 60 or 70 open lines here all of a sudden. 5670560, pound 560. And this whole discussion started with a story on the front page of the paper today, which nobody's got anything to say about. Firm evidence is found for a faraway planet 859 trillion miles, 153 light years away from Earth. 6 times the size of Jupiter. All those suns up there, all those stars, they're suns with their own solar systems, or at least most of them. Planets revolving around them. Big ones, small ones, live ones, dead ones. Where do those come from? Where did they come from? Is there any mention of that in the Bible?
No.
No. You see, they're I'd just be amazing. Who knows if they really found life on the moon or on Mars? Who knows? Because I have a feeling that if they do, we'll be the last ones to know. Because it would be bad for business. Real bad. Who killed JFK, do we know?
No.
Who killed Bobby Kennedy, do we know?
No.
Martin Luther King?
No.
Cock Robin?
No.
Abe Lincoln?
No.
Our only Jewish president, Abe Lincoln? Does anybody know who really killed him?
No.
No, not for sure. But he enjoyed the play. Here's West Miami. Hello.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
I hate to change the subject. I'm retired and I've never called, but...
Well, what do you mean hate to change the subject?
Well,
what does that mean?
3 weeks ago, I got chosen by Arbitron. And I'm on Arbitron. Can I talk to you? Or
Absolutely.
do I have to
Well,
be
I can't talk to you about the Arbitron now. We do love you very much.
Well, anyhow, for 3 weeks, I got four letters and at least 6 phone calls on how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Every which way you can think of.
Right.
And every letter and every phone call said, "Look, we're going to take care of you. We appreciate you doing this. La-di-da, la-di-da."
$2.
And you're gonna get it. So I finally got my book, and a $1 bill fell out.
$1. Oh.
Yeah. I thought that was fantastic.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah, and any idiot could fill this thing out. So
Right.
I don't know what all these 6 phone calls are, but.
Well, they got to have something to do to justify their existence, you know.
But anyhow, I thought the $1 was a real.
Well, like I said, we love you profusely, sir, and pray for us, please.
Well, I would also like you to know that I feel so much better that I know that my mayor is the sexiest mayor in the United States.
There you go. Yeah, it makes me feel proud. Have a great day, pal.
Bye.
There you go. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. He's the sexiest man in town. Oh! By the way, you know, when you really come right down to it, like I was saying the other day, this is such an ugly place, you know. In fact, even lately at the hockey games I've been noticing. In the last year at the Mac Arena, there were those games when you look around, hey, look at that, no matter what you're looking for, wow, which sure as hell beat most of those games. But now you look around and, you know, out of like we had 16,000 people there for the Buffalo game. I'd say there were like, 3 people in there that you might look at a second time of any, and I'm not sure what they were actually. But pretty weak. There's just something about this place. Maybe it's in the goddamn water, huh? That could be it. 22 before 1 at 560 WQM.
Dolphins football. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Get the lubricant for the new millennium. Get Y2KY Jelly, the personal lubricant for home, the car, the boat, or the office. Lubricates appliances, bikes, the lawnmower, the chainsaw, grandma's wheelchair, I've fallen, the BB gun, the bow and arrow, the wife, or the cat. Y2KY Jelly, available at Y2Kmart.
17 to 1 at 560, and if there is a God, how come old people smell like that? 5670560, the out of town line. Don't give it. Don't waste everybody else's time. Okay, it's history. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hello. How about in the beginning it was God, and in the beginning it was the Word? How about in the beginning it was the brain, and then start thinking about it?
Yes.
Rather than propounding all this stupidity about somebody wrote
pounding this
books and
pounding
words.
That. Right.
Just get a brain. Forget
Okay,
about the
get
word
a brain. I could have said it better myself. Okay, thank you, sir. I'll pray for you, too. Heathen, Kami Pinko. Get a brain is what he said. Get a brain. Oh! Get a life. Oh! Get a brain. Oh! And by the way, speaking of get a brain, I'm so sick and tired of these goddamn professionals. I mean, I got 80 million other things, but I'm so obsessed. And the audience obviously isn't, but I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. Because I think it's tremendously important. I mean, you know, it's science. It's like the truth, not a bunch of fairy tales. Where's that thing about the smoking bitch? I am so sick and tired of these militant... You see, I hate to break the news to you people, but on the side of the pack of cigarettes for like the last 20 years, maybe 30 years now, it's got like a skull and crossbones, and it says this is going to kill you, and if you smoke it, tough crap. Everybody's suing everybody else. Did I lose that goddamn thing? I got it here somewhere in the middle of this pile of crap. So, here it is. Twin, big tobacco-hooked sister. The twin sister of a highly publicized smoker in Miami's landmark tobacco trial accused the industry Monday of knowingly hooking Mary Farnan on cigarettes and causing her lung cancer.
Boy!
It's your products that put her in a hospital as far as I'm concerned. A testy Celeste Stevens, 44, told R.J. Reynolds attorney Jim Johnson on cross-examination, and that's addiction. Well, guess what, sweetheart? I'm addicted to sugar, too, and it's giving me diabetes, and I'm fat, and high blood pressure, and all of these things. Am I suing anybody?
No.
Good idea, though. Get the name of her attorney. No, seriously, this is another part of what's sick with America. And part of this business about nobody taking responsibility for their own actions, their own weaknesses, their own behavior. Nobody wants to take responsibility for it, whether it's killing somebody else or smoking on those faggots. Is this new news? Is this something new that cigarettes are going to give you? How many years ago did Humphrey Bogart, how many years ago did he die with a faggot on his lips? There's nothing new here. You pick your own poisons. You eat a lot of the wrong foods, it's going to kill you. You smoke too many cigarettes, it's going to kill you. You go and breathe too much of the wrong air, it's going to kill you. You drink some of the real bad water, it's going to kill you. So the bottom line is, someday you're going to die. By the way, though, I have good news. I should have brought this up earlier. They'd like this. They like fairy. They like false hope because they're terrified of death. I don't know why. How could anybody be terrified of death and then they live here, you know? I don't understand that. I mean, you're in the heart of it. You're in the cradle of death. Can't you smell it? Oh, my God. Live to be 125 years old. I received this on the fax machine this morning. Yeah. I took one look at this and I thought, the Chicago-based nonprofit organization, the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, A4M. What does that mean, A4? Reported today that it's not possible for men and women born in the 1950s to expect to live to the ripe old age of 125 years. All right. There you go. A4M was founded by Dr. Ronald Klatz in 1993. The society's membership includes over 7,500 forward-looking physicians, scientists, and researchers from around the world, as opposed to backward-looking, which most of them are. They're all dedicated to the belief that the process of physical aging in humans can be slowed, stopped, or even reversed through existing medical and scientific interventions. A4M can clearly demonstrate through the advances in medicine, medical technologies, vascular biology, and the mechanics of gene therapy that the average man or woman, if given the opportunity to take advantage of this existing science, could easily expect to see their 125th birthday and still be in reasonably good health to enjoy it. You like that?
Uh-huh.
44-year-old Ron Klatz, MD, president of A4M, who himself expects easily to see his own 125th birthday, stated, it's not just about taking vitamins. If you look back over the past 60 years, when life expectancy was hardly more than 50 years of age, no one had any idea we'd make such profound advances in clinical treatments in medicine. There was a time not too long ago when your heart stopped, all that doctors could do was watch you die. Thanks to the intervention of the defibrillator, people are brought back to life nearly every minute of every day. Just look at this town.
Oi!
We got people that have been dead for years. They're still walking around and driving. He went on to say future advances will come exponentially. Statistically, centurions are now the fastest growing segment of the U.S. population. And it's demonstrated that this is a result of clinical science, not just a swing in population growth. They're not just swinging it. Let's have a swing club for old farts. Oh! Quoting physician member A4M, our caddy, some horrible name, Colton, MD, living forever gets a bad rap from those not convinced that it's possible. The reality is most people are not comfortable when they see older Americans in nursing homes with drool on their chin. With drool on their chin. Yeah. When it comes to life, most people are more afraid of getting old and sickly than they are of dying. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
The American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine is dedicated to the goal of disseminating information, allowing individuals to make more informed choices and have a better understanding of what is currently available in the field of science that can extend your life expectancy. I think this must be akin to that Wishful Thinking Foundation. Don't you think they're probably like related? Yeah, like that Life Extension Foundation in Hollywood. You know that crowd? Oh my God! There's guys in that thing. They're like 35, look worse than Grandpa in the Country Time spot. They look 120. So maybe that's why they think they're going to live to 125. They only make it to like 45, but they think they're 125 because they look like that. God, you look like 100. So there you go, boys and girls. 125. Oh. No sweat. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
God's listening to you.
Yeah.
He's hired somebody to skywrite God equals love and a smiley face in the skies over Coral Springs, right as we speak.
All right.
Thought it was the funniest damn thing I ever saw.
Excellent.
You're talking about this, I look up, and here comes G-O-D across the sky.
All right. There you go.
That's all I had.
Leave it to...
Neil, God!
No, sir. Thank you. Leave it to me to put God right in front of your puss. 567-0560, pound 560 on the 8. That's the response. We're finding planets. There's little green men running around on there, midgets, big, gigantic Gila monsters, all kinds of crap running around on this big, gigantic planet out there, 859 trillion miles away, and they'll be here. It might take them a while, but they'll be here someday. And if you live to 125, you might just see it. Won't you?
No.
No? Sounds pretty good to me. So, by the way, if you live to 125, 57, 43, and 25, 68, I'm just signing a new 50-year contract. Oh! Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rogers.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for you about the Egypt Air tragedy.
Yes?
It was an Egyptian airliner over international waters. Why are our tax dollars paying for the investigation?
Is that what you're worried about?
I'm not worried about it, but it's another waste by our government.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. See what I mean? He's worried about the fact that our government is spending money for the investigation of the airliner. I have no idea, but I'm sure that there must be international agreements about how that works.
Weren't there some Americans on the planet?
Many. And Canadians. And Canadians, too. Well, he doesn't care about that. He just don't want to spend the money. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, the 870 out-of-town line. We're going to forget about that. Thanks anyway, Greg. It's a piece of crap. Here's the mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I got some static. Yeah, I saw, I didn't see the article in the paper, but
About what?
PBS, about the planet.
Yeah.
But on PBS the last couple of nights, they've been running a show about life in the universe. I forget what it's called, but they were talking about that planet.
Mm-hmm.
How they just discovered a planet around the sun that's the right distance for the life and everything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they were talking about you know, people are saying men on Mars and communicating with them. They were talking about everything's so far away that by the time another civilization is smart enough to pick up our signal, they're we might be extinct. And you know,
we might be extinct based on what?
Based on
they're going to come down here like the war.
No, a species only lasts so long.
Oh, of course, the mankind will become extinct. There's no question about that.
Well, no, that's not. But
that's a given. There's no question about that.
Right.
Which of course also debunks the Bible, because the Bible doesn't say anything about what's going to happen after that.
Right. Well, what they're saying is, if we send out signals, it might take 1 million years for them to pick it up, and we'll be gone, and we won't know if they pick it up, or they might.
Then why should we worry about that then? I mean, what's the point? Isn't that pretty silly?
Well, they also said that we never send out signals for fear of a superior alien race coming and finding us and wiping us out.
Yeah, I'm sending out a signal. You can hear that out there 859 trillion miles away. Here's the number to call. I'm giving it a shot.
Yeah, but this show, these people with religion, they're so far, I don't know, gone.
They're gone. You're right. They're gone. Their mind is gone. It's turned to Jello. It's turned to Ready Whip, and their brain is gone. It's history. They have no control over their own thought process.
The best case, though, is my sister-in-law, who is diehard into religion. And I sit there and say,
dying hard?
There's no God and this and that. And she's like, oh, you poor thing. But I'm doing fine. My wife's fine, and she's been in jail twice.
There you go.
Rehab 3 times.
There you go.
I'm the
I
poor
rest my
thing.
case.
I'm the poor thing who doesn't believe in God.
Well, I'll pray for you, pal. Have a great day. Why don't tobacco plaintiffs take responsibility? Here from the Herald Saturday Speak Up. Somebody faxes me a letter from Dean Wagner in Miami. The headline over the picture of the tobacco plaintiff giving the thumbs up in the July 8th Herald easily could have read, "New lottery winners." Taking responsibility for one's choices is non-existent in this country. People just sue, and the bigger the target, the better. Nice going, Dean, in Miami. In all the years the tobacco plaintiffs smoked, did they ever think it was good for their healthy acts? I think not. People who smoke know the risks. To claim otherwise is ludicrous. For some, the pleasure of smoking is an accepted health risk, just as skydiving, drinking alcohol, eating fatty foods, or crossing a street. People suing Big Blank, fill in the name, whoever it is, Big Tobacco, Big whatever, should be ashamed of their lack of responsibility. But then big industry is the new cash cow, and suing it for self-inflicted injury has been legitimized by greed and big law. What next? A class action suit against Big Butter for clogging the arteries of Americans? How about Big Sugar for causing diabetes and rotting the teeth of the public, which I just said only minutes ago? Nice going, Dean Magnan in Miami. What time is your show on? He says Americans could use a refresher course on living from Europeans, where the quality of life, however personally defined, outweighs the quantity of life. Oh, my God, how do you like this? This is one of the great... Thank you, whoever faxed this to me, by the way. If one is unwilling to accept the health risks of smoking, drinking alcohol, eating fatty foods and sweets, driving a car, and other potentially dangerous activities, then simply don't partake. Otherwise, accept the risk like an adult, and please stop whining. Oh, let's hear it. Let's have a sitting ovation for Dean Magnan in Miami. I'm saving this letter. I'm putting this right up on a goddamn bulletin board back here. Americans could use a refresher course on living from Europeans, where the quality of life, however personally defined, outweighs the quantity of life. Oh, God! This is good. Makes me just ache for the moment that my foot steps off that plane into Schiphol Airport. Makes me just dying for it. God bless Dean Magnum in Magnum 357 Magnum in Miami, whatever his goddamn name is. It's a bad fax. Wow. Goes to show you, once in a while, when you least expect it, somebody with a brain actually writes a letter to the editor that makes sense. Just like the Michael Mayo piece. It sounds like it came right from this show. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Dean. Wow. 4 minutes before 1 at 560 WQAM.
The Neil Rogers Show. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Living in Miami can be very crappy. Without content Julio, politicians fresh off the boat, apathy. It don't matter to me, I don't care. I don't care. Outside of school, consent jobs sink. That Florida is boring. It's malls and parking lots, early birds and old farts, so fuck me. This place really stinks, but I don't care. I don't care. Whatever happened to all the good things we used to have? Nobody gives a crap if it's controlled by dumb assholes. It's the land of the brain dead, so I prefer to scratch my balls instead. I don't care. Mama, just gone.
Yeah, I can tell. 2 minutes after 1 at 560 WQM. We got the Hank Goldberg Show from Cool City at 2. We got the Bookster at 6. I had Kaplan, the Gambling Show, at 10 o'clock tonight. Firm evidence is found. Oh, I'm sorry. 567-0560, pound 560. It's 1 o'clock, okay? It's now our fourth and final hour of the day. If we had one call from like any believer that can, other than to attack me, that can explain this to us, we'll listen. What are these other planets doing out there? What's all this crap going on way out there billions and trillions of miles away? And how come it doesn't say anything about it in the good book? That's all. These are very legitimate, simple questions, don't you think?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So where's the answers? Just like that guy said before, don't make trouble. Don't ask questions. Sorry. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello. Pembroke Pines. Gone. Okay, let's try Miami Lakes. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I want to discuss the religious debate.
Religious debate?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is the obsession with trying to tear down the whole Catholic Church?
Catholic Church, is that the only religion?
Well, I'm just saying just Christianity in general.
What about Judaism?
I never hear you say anything about Judaism.
Well, sir, you're ridiculous. The book I just read from was the book of Genesis, which is the first book of the 5 books of Moses. It's from the Old Testament. Right. That's the Jewish religion.
Right.
And you never hear me talking about the Hasidim throwing rocks at the women who are praying at the Wailing Wall?
But this is a constant barrage, though. It's day after day.
No, it is not day after day. I don't talk about religion day after day.
Has a rabbi ever raped a child or anything like that?
Yes.
Why do we never?
How often do you think that happens?
It's fairly recent.
You see, I hate to break the news to you, sir, but most rabbis are married.
Right. But they keep it within the church.
Most rabbis are married. Most ministers are married, too. But priests, of course, in the Catholic Church aren't permitted to marry. They're supposed to be celibate. The idea being that sex is somehow unclean or evil, and therefore, if they're celibate, they're holier than everybody else.
I agree.
And of
That's
course,
ludicrous.
It's ludicrous, it's unnatural, it's unacceptable, and it doesn't happen.
But at the same time, why you, as a Jewish person, would sit there and constantly...
I'm not Jewish. I'm Jewish by birth. I don't believe in the Jewish religion. What difference does it make what kind of deli I eat?
But why can't you let everybody else have freedom? You talk about
Sir,
not
you
discriminating.
can believe whatever you want. I'm not the one that prevents people from having freedom. You're the ones that are always trying to oppose it on the rest of us.
It's
You
not
can
me. I'm
believe
not a
whatever
religious
crap you
person.
want.
I'm not a religious person at all. I'm just
Then what are you
offended.
talking about?
I'm
You're
offended
what?
that you would sit there and try to tear down an institution that you're not a part of, and you have no intention.
In other words, if I don't want to be, how about the Nazi Party? In other words, if I say something bad about that, I shouldn't do it because I'm not a member?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
That's what you just said. I'm sitting here trying to tear down an institution. How about the Communist Party? I'm not a member of that. Should I say they're great?
Right, but the Catholic Church
Sir,
does a lot of good for a lot of people.
I asked you a question. Then why are you so defensive about it if you're not a member of it?
I'm not defensive.
How about the Crusades? Did that do a lot of good for a lot of people?
There was a lot of ignorance.
How about the Spanish Inquisition? It wasn't ignorance, sir. It was murder. It was slaughter of innocent men, women, and little children.
Agreed, and that's happened throughout society, and it's continuing to happen today.
Then why are you so upset somebody talking about it?
I'm not upset about someone
Why
talking.
is it okay for the religious nuts to get on TV 24 hours a day, raising money under tax-free phony purposes and pretext? How come that's okay? Why don't you call them up and bitch them out?
Well, I agree. That's not a good solution either. But what I'm saying,
It's not a good solution. It's not a solution. It's a business.
Well,
it's a business. Don't you understand that?
There's no doubt.
It's a big, fat, phony, fraudulent business.
And most of them are phony, and most of them collect. But
what do you mean, most of them? What's the exception? Which is the real religion? That's not a business.
the religion is somebody's opinion on what they think is right.
Which one is not a business?
They're all a business.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But religion itself is an institution that shouldn't be sit there and you should allow people to think what they want to think.
No, that's not the purpose of the program. The purpose of the program is to express my opinion, not to let people just sit back and go, ugh.
But it's borderline brainwashing when it's a constant
It's not
barrage.
borderline anything. I'm expressing my opinion. If you want to believe it, fine. If not, that's okay. And I'm asking people who believe differently, just like you, to call and express theirs. And you're not telling me anything. All you're doing again is criticizing me. You're telling me what I should say. Sir, institutions have got nothing to do with religion, and they don't help people. It's a crutch for weak people, and they steal their money. They rob their money, and they rob their brain. They take away their brain.
What other crutch would you want them to use?
People don't need a crutch. If people are, brought up intelligently and honestly, they don't need a crutch.
Well, that's not the situation, though. If it was a perfect world, it would be that way.
How do you know it's not the situation?
Well, if you want, like, people that are going through alcoholism or drug abuse, and they go through the 12-step program.
Oh, my God. Are you a member of that?
I am most certainly not a member of that, but I'm saying there's a valid reason for people that
just checking.
For people that do that.
Yeah.
And that's what gives them support and gives them something to lean on.
Phony crutch. But if it works for them, more power to them.
But it's not a perfect world. That's the way the world is. So
it's not a
let
perfect
people
world
believe
because all the religious nuts are busy running around persecuting and killing people that don't agree with their bullcrap. You show me one part of the world where that isn't going on.
I would like for you personally.
Sir, I'd like you to answer my question.
It's happening everywhere, but I would like to see a little bit more emphasis on Judaism as opposed to Christianity.
Sir, now you're telling me what percentage of the show I'm going to have to talk about Judaism to satisfy you. Okay, tell me what time your show is on, okay? He'd like to see a better percentage, then it would pacify him. Because he's not satisfied. I'm not picking on the Jews. Sir, let me just tell you this. One good thing I'll say about the Jews is at least they're not running around trying to convert everybody else. That's one besides the good food. That's one good thing I can say about Judaism, and that's one of the reasons that there's so few Jews in the world today. Because they're not encouraging their people to have like 10 and 50, except for the Orthodox, who are a very small handful, thank God. They're not encouraging their people to overpopulate the world like the Catholic Church. Oh, there he goes again.
Maybe they should get on some
bicycles. And they're not proselytizing. Live and let live, baby. That's where it's at. You can be as Jewish as I am without buying in any of the religious bullcrap. How do you like that, sir? But he wants to hear more attacks on Judaism would make him happy. The answer is no. Only the Orthodox. Only the people who are intolerant and grotesque and smell bad. With the payas and the coats. See, now is a good time to bring out get the payas going and the long coats and the hats because it's going to start cooling off a little bit. Especially in Brooklyn, where the Orthodox and the less Orthodox are busy hating each other like poison, and the Orthodox are throwing bricks through their windows because they're driving on Saturday on Shabbos. Oh, but I never hear you saying that. I say it all the time, sir, just not enough to make you happy. But I read the papers every day. If I've read stories on the air about rabbis who were convicted of rape, whatever it is. Send them to me. I'll read them on the air.
You read that thing about the Hasidic drug ring.
That's right. But you know something? Day after day after day, I don't write your newspapers, sir. I don't make these things up. They just pop up on Associated Press, UPI, Reuters, Herald, New York papers, every paper in the world. There they are.
There's no fact in the church.
So again, you want to blame me for creating a situation. That's a goddamn closet. And believe me, I know all about homos, man. Takes one to know one. I know all about that. It's a closet for pedophiles and other homos. That's what the priesthood's all about. And talk about hypocrisy. I know that if I'm like your ordinary heterosexual guy, I'm going to go to some fag and get advice from him about my sex life and about my marital life. Yeah, from some queen.
There's no fags in the church.
Right. Who's sitting there thumping on the other side of the goddamn confessional booth while he's listening to, the 16-year-old in there, 14-year-old, the 10-year-old in there with stories about, did he touch it and was it good and et cetera.
How often?
And how often? And don't forget.
It is so hard.
How hard? 1 at 560 WQAM.
Hi, this is Bill Zimford. Go to WQAM.com for all the latest Dolphins information and your chance to win great prizes playing Beat the Broadcaster. Sports Radio 560 WQAM.
Neon God.
Here you go, pal.
Sitting in the mall and watching all the Jews walk by.
Boy!
Watching all the Jews walking through the mall before they die.
Oh!
Look at them wait on the line for free bread muffins. Working on the floor, they would start to fight. So let's go sitting in the mall and go watching all the Jews, watching all the Jews, watching all the Jews walk by.
Now, this guy's like the CRTC, the Canadian Radio and TV. It's their counterpart of the FCC, and they control how much Canadian content has got to be like on the music stations and the other programs. This guy, he's going to control the amount of religious content. Who can Neil bash? It's got to be like 30% this one, and 20% that one, and 5% the Catholic Church. Hold your breath, pal. And look what just happened here. We had like every line on the board lit up when we went into the break, and all of a sudden, not too highly motivated, I guess. 567-0560, no waiting, lots of open lines now. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hey, Pally.
Yes, sir.
All right, two things. Number one, Governor Bush was over in Israel, and on 3D there's a picture of him. I could swear the guy had too much mutts. He looks constipated.
Boy!
Good.
Good for him.
Serves him right.
Yeah, also,
maybe he was looking for the burning bush.
Yeah. Listen, this Pokemon thing, I got little kids. I've been to several of these Burger King steakhouses around here. They're out of the toys. My kids are freaking out.
Uh-huh.
I come home. My wife is like, what the hell's going on? I can't even have sex at night because the kids are freaking us out.
Go buy him a Cabbage Patch doll. Tell him to grow up.
Oh, well.
There you go. Okay. He's worried about Pokemon and the Boogeyman. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
Did you see the episode last week on Dateline or something about the Jehovah's Witnesses?
No.
You know what they believe in?
Do I know what they believe in?
Well, I mean, the woman got hit by a car. Guy was drunk, okay?
Right.
And he was out on probation, shouldn't have been
No
driving, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Make a long story
Right.
short.
No transfusions, I understand.
She died.
I went to school. I went to high school with a girl who was a Jehovah's Witness, and the father had some kind of, like, whatever it was, and he died.
Yeah.
Just some very, like, like a head cold or something.
And they sit there and they get the nerve to say, well, I miss her, and what, blah, 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 and they wanted this guy to go on trial for murder when he could have been saved by a transfusion.
And not only that, but they do, they do this stuff to their kids, and it's it's child abuse.
I know. Hey, listen, all these people that are sticking on us Jewish people, just tell them kosher meat's hard to beat.
Tell them cox ahoy.
Okay,
and back to you. Yeah, quit picking on the Jews, all right. Okay, we've been picked on enough, but now it's your turn. You don't like it, do you, pal, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you do? He likes it. In addition to which, I thought that guy was saying, you notice how they all say, oh, I'm not this and I'm not that, but quit picking on us. I mean, quit picking on them. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-6345 on our world line, which is pretty mediocre today. This is the weakest day we've had on that thing. Probably because they don't want to deal with this. Too bad. I do. I do and I will. Just like 98 Degrees says, I do and I will. When I'm good and ready. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
I'm Jewish by birth. I was born and raised in Israel, and I got to tell you that religion is the biggest bunch of crap that I ever encountered. And that's how
exactly
somebody who
correct.
grew up there. They do try to enforce it in Israel, and every religion is a bunch of cowardless people that don't have any explanation and just run away. the same thing.
They all ran away today. There's not one person today in 4 hours that's had one answer about the thing brought up about the planet that they found and the solar system. Not one person can explain it, has any ideas about it. Just don't confuse us with this because it flies in the face of all the fairy tales that we've been brainwashed with, and you're confusing us and we're getting very upset about it.
They wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. I just read a book about the Greeks, and one of the Greek people said, long time ago, a genius was the man who created God from his heart. The Greek knew it long before we did, that religion was a bunch of crap.
Of course.
You know? And I don't know, they wouldn't call because they're afraid because they don't have any rational explanation.
No, the only ones that call are the ones that want to attack me or tell me, ask me how come I'm not talking so much about this and that. Why don't they just respond to what I asked them, to this article I read?
And then, of course,
I didn't make up the story. I didn't discover this planet. It's right on the front page of the goddamn Herald. It must be true.
It's not on the Sun Sentinel, though. I can't find it there.
No, well, they're afraid. They're terrified. It's not in there.
But
go on and get the Herald. It's worth 35 cents.
And then you had that guy calling you and telling you should talk about 40% Jews and then 20%
and he's giving me the quotas now, 10% Mormons, 5% Christian Scientists, 2% Scientologists.
What a bunch of crap. Let me tell you. I don't know. Since I came here, I've been listening to you, Neil, and you're right on the money all the time.
God bless you, sir. As Confucius said, have a great day. 5, 6, we got 15. What happened here all of a sudden? Right before that break, something exciting must be going on somewhere. Is it Jim Rome?
No.
Is it the 2 live Jews?
No.
What is it? Did somebody get killed again here in town?
No.
Must be something going on. All of a sudden they just vanished. See, this is very sad. Every single day. But like I said, what's the date today? The 16th? And after my vacation, when I come back, there'll be a big, very fat paycheck waiting for me. And then another one not very far along after I come back. It could be so much more rewarding if the people here had something to say about anything, if they had something to say. And you watch when the sports shows come on, the phones, they are smoking. Do they have as many people listening?
No.
No, it's the same 200 people, of course, morning, noon, and night.
No.
No. But they're Jimmy this, Jimmy and Danny and the Hurricanes as if those things are important. And those people make me want to sit and cry. They make me want to cry. Here's a mobile in Opelika. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
I loved how you put that Jew-hating bastard in his place.
I don't know that he's a Jew-hating bastard, but he's just trying to suggest that because I'm Jewish, therefore I shouldn't talk about other religions. I'm an equal opportunity basher when it comes to religion, sir. They're all full of crap. The only thing is some are more benign, some are more malignant. And the one that he's defending, the Catholic Church, throughout history, has been the most malignant of them all. There's no contest, no low contender, as they say in Rome.
Now, in that regard, with regard to the Catholic Church, I'm in real estate, and I was looking at some real estate in Tamarack, and I was owned by the Archdiocese of Miami.
Right.
So I called them up to see if they want to sell the thing. I couldn't get anybody other than a secretary on the phone. They won't put me in touch with anybody who knows anything about the property. So I do some further investigation. Turns out that the Archdiocese of Miami is hoarding real estate all over Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County.
All right.
They got millions and millions of dollars in real estate, and they keep passing the basket around at Mass asking for more money.
Yeah, well, they need that to fight the lawsuits of all the pedophile priests, because their insurance has been canceled, so they got to have the money to fight the lawsuits.
Yeah, in the same vein, I got my in-laws are into Kabbalah. I don't know if you know too much about Kabbalah.
No.
But they're bleeding them dry of money.
I know a lot about baklava, though.
You got to make a donation for everything. You walk into place, you got to make a donation.
Well, so how can you do business without donation? You got to have money to do business, man.
Stealing money left and right.
Stealing money from the public. You got it, pal. That's
it's
what
all
all about. Stealing money from brainwashed, stupid, terrified people. And God bless you.
Okay, God bless you too.
And I'll pray for you.
Bye-bye.
That's right. Let me put your hands. Here you go. That's what Benny Hinn does. He puts his hands not on your head, not on your shoulders, in your pocket. That's what he's saying. Only $50,000. Whatever you got, I'll take it. And then people like that asshole Larry King keeps putting them on there over and over again. These same fakers. That's his new deal now, okay? That's his new deal. Keeps putting every goddamn faker on the air, Benny Hinn and Jerry Falwell, every goddamn faker that ever came down the pike.
I know how to do a talk show.
Yeah, right. When are you going to start? When are you going to stop tossing the marshmallows, you asshole with suspenders? Oh, there's a Jewish guy for you, Larry Ziegler, by the way. That should make the guy happy. We're always ripping Larry. And rightfully so. Here's Homestead. Hello.
Yeah, so yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah. This is Vito.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil.
Vito Corleone?
No, you're close. It's Vito Del Bari.
Okay, speak to me, Vito.
Listen, I'm a little upset. I know you're a very intelligent man. I want to speak to you about something.
Upset about what?
Well, my son was down out of Murata a couple of weeks ago at a restaurant with his wife and a 2-month-old baby.
Yeah. Vito, let me ask you, are you listening to this show today?
Yes, I listen every day.
Okay.
All right.
Just curious, because
No, every day, Neil.
Does this have anything to do with what we're talking about today?
Yeah, basically it does, because, my son went into the men's room and he got squirted with water.
You got squirted in the men's room?
Right. As he walked in, the urinal water was pouring out of it.
Squirted in the men's room. Oh, but it was water, okay.
So he walks out, actually the manager, assistant comes over, the manager comes running out, says to my son...
Well, maybe it was holy water, maybe that's why...
Well, it could have been holy water, but I don't think so. It might have been a little urine in that.
Like I said, what does it have to do with what we're talking about?
All right, well, the manager says to my son, what did you do to my bathroom, you effing spick?
Yeah.
And with that, my son says, look, I'm not going to pay for my meal. I'm going to leave. He said, no, I'm going to call the police. You broke my bathroom.
Really?
Then he said, all right, look, I'll pay for my meal. I'm leaving. And he says, no. So he gets in his car. They go down the road. Trooper picks him up down the road. They bring him back.
Yeah.
All right.
What would he do to the bathroom?
He didn't do a thing, Neil,
in
the bathroom.
Okay.
He gets arrested.
For what?
All right. Disorderly conduct.
For squirting in the bathroom?
No, for cursing at the manager. He had a witness 40 feet away.
Well, what does that mean, disorderly conduct? He can't curse at the manager?
No, Neil,
What kind of law is that?
Oh, plus, Neil, they put it in the newspaper. And my son works in Murata. They put everything in the newspaper that this off-the-wall man went berserk in a restaurant.
Sounds like a good lawsuit to me.
Oh, it's a beautiful one.
Good. Good luck to you,
Really. Thanks a lot, Neil. I love your show.
Send me 20%.
Hey, I'll send you more, Neil.
Make him an offer he can't refuse.
That's what we do, Neil. I'm in the limousine business.
All right, there you go.
All right,
okay,
Neil.
Vito.
Bye.
Okay, here's Vito. That's a kiss like right on the lips. Oh, yeah. You know what that means? Like when Michael kissed Fredo right on the lips? Yep. Oh, yeah, Superman. Yeah, Superman. Oh, Superman was everybody's downfall, even Chris Reeve. Bud Collyer, George Reeves, everybody that was involved with Superman. Bada bing. That's right. Who was it that used to bring him there all the time? What was the guy's name? Mo Green.
No.
Mo Green.
Mo Green wouldn't go to these places.
No, what was his name?
Joe Rizzoli.
No. Come on. You used to bring me here all the time, don't you? Yeah, well, what's his name? Not Hyman Roth.
Mo Green's friend. No, his friend.
His paisan. His buddy. Yeah, he used to bring me here all the time. Oop.
It'll come to me.
Yeah, okay. You're slipping. Was that North Carolina? See, you don't think too much Godfather stuff in Carolina.
My brain emptied out while I was up there.
When in doubt, empty it out. That's what I did.
Johnny Ola. He knows all these places like the back of his
Johnny
hand.
Ola, Superman. He's
never get Hyman Roth into one of these
hung almost like Jason Taylor. Let me tell you again, by the way, in case you missed the first minute of the show today, Joe Rose told me that Jason Taylor is hung like a moose and has got the largest penis on the Dolphin team. For all you sports people, sports intensive. Yeah, Joe was over there checking them all out. 26 after 1 at 560 WQAM.
Jim Mandich talks sports weekend right here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Father, could you help an old altar boy? I'm a Catholic.
No.
Don't you love Bill Bradley?
Yes.
Don't we need Bill Bradley? He's more than 6 feet tall. Plays pro basketball. Don't you love Bill Bradley?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need him badly. He's gonna win the race. People love him 'cause he isn't Albert Gore. Did I mention that he isn't Albert Gore? He played for the Knicks. He doesn't borrow sticks. Yeah, we love him 'cause he isn't Albert Gore. Not Al Gore. Not Al Gore. Not Al Gore. Yeah, he's not Al Gore. I'll say it one time more. We love Bill a lot. Mostly 'cause he's not boring Albert Gore. Well, don't you love Bill Bradley? Don't you love Bill Bradley?
He sure is boring. 132 at 560 WQM. He sure is boring and has a thick tongue. You know, he's just kind of like, eh. But anyway, 5670560. Did I say but anyway? Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. Did I say that? Did I say that? Anyway.
That was funny.
Don't forget Hank will be at Cool City at 2. Bookster at 6. Ed Kaplan with the Gambling Show at 10 for the real chronics out there who need GA badly. Turn to the Lord. Turn to those 18 steps. Here's a mobile in North Miami Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How are you today?
The 18 steps they know are the steps to the window. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to agree with you, Neil. I happen to have been born Jewish, but I think religion total is crock of you-know-what.
Crap.
It's a joke.
Evil.
It's for the
evil.
weak. It's for the weak. It's for the followers. It's for nobody with a mind.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I wanted
All
to tell
50 of us.
Yeah, right. I wanted to tell you about the planets. I believe that planets, I happen to be a hobbyist in this, and I believe that there are planets teeming throughout the universe with life throughout the universe. It only makes sense.
Like I said, we're like the little tiny ant that just crawled out of the anthole, and we're looking around and we think we know something, and we know nothing. We know nothing.
We know, not only know nothing, our brains are so limited in the, in what we can think and how we can compute. Look at where we've come in 100 years from flying an airplane to where we are now. Can you imagine another civilization with 100,000 years more advanced than we are with the same intellect that we have?
I think it's hard to think. See?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is, but there's anybody who believes that there's not life teeming throughout the universe
Is an imbecile.
Absolutely got to be stupidity.
And living in a vacuum.
Absolutely.
Hey, God bless you, sir.
Take care, Neil.
Okay, and I'll pray for you deeply and devoutly. I'm going to rub my beads several times. If Fredo would have just rubbed those rosary beads a few more times, right, Fredo? Huh? Fredo?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. What do we got there? Anything good from Carlos who came floating in and out of there? What is that?
This is always a
Look at that envelope.
Mr. Howard Shoren or whatever it is.
What is it?
You'll know it when I give it to you. Another crazy person.
Oh, another crazy person? No, please, let's have that. Let's take a call from Stuart. Hello.
Yes, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's nice to know about Jason Taylor. You know, he graduated from Akron U. That's the same school that
There you go. They know that rubber. That's the rubber capital of the world, man. They need the big rubber up there for
That's
Jason.
right. My father worked in the tire industry.
Right.
Anyways, Benny Hinn, my wife actually went to him. He's in Orlando. Did you know that? Did you know
He's
that?
what?
His church is in Orlando.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Close by. Let's keep her up close by.
My wife had cancer, and 3 weeks before she died, he laid hands on her.
No, that probably put her over the edge. Poor soul.
Obviously, it didn't do any
Oh,
good.
boy.
But, as far as the Bible is concerned, you need not go any further than Genesis, that's like the second verse or so, when it says that God created the earth and everything upon it. And then the next few verses down, it says, and then he created the sun, the moon, and the stars. I mean, it's a big contradiction. Obviously, the earth, the stars and the rest of the universe are much older, and they were here long before the earth. And so that's where I stop, because I say, well, this is a bunch of nonsense, so why continue on? And then
if I could just get everybody to pick up their Bible, which they're all talking about the good book, but very, very few of them have ever read it, except when they go to church and synagogue and they give them selected passages, selective piety. If they would just read the first 3 or 4 pages, they'd say, oh my gosh, this is for little kids, and they put it away and go about the business
people
of
living
life.
to 700 years old, and then there's, Jesus is born from a virgin and water to wine, and it just goes on, and it's just...
Not to mention all the great diseases that God lets us get, too.
Yeah, exactly. This loving God.
He invents all living things. He must have created all these viruses and germs, and keeps doing it, too, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's a loving God. That's why there's murders and just disease and everything. All right, Neil.
God bless you, sir.
That's about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank God for us.
Bye-bye.
There you go. God is a sadistic prick. How do you like that? Oh, he didn't say that, did he? I did. It's true. He's a real mother. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. 877. What's that number for America, for Chicago and Detroit and Boston and Ishpeming, Michigan and Kalamazoo and Ithaca, New York that we had a call from today? See, very first call, I thought, boy, that thing's going to be smoking today. Was it smoking? No. And, of course, in Fort Myers, they're putting our signal through a filter today to make sure they can't hear too much of this because the religious nuts run that whole town over there, the whole West Coast. The whole West Coast of Florida, baby. Talk about the Bible Belt. Woo! Hallelujah! They're old, they're craggy, and they love the Lord on the West Coast. Here's a mobile in Pompano Beach. Hello. Okay, nice talking to you, too. Here's Fort Lauderdale, Fort Pierce. Hello.
Hello.
Fort something, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a couple things to say.
Yes, sir?
First of all, Benny Hinn is a big, fat loser. And I was
Benny Hinn is
thinking
not
about
fat, sir.
actually
In
getting
addition,
into
which he's not a loser, he's making a fortune off dumb people.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was thinking about getting into that profession, pushing
Yeah,
people
not
over.
bad. Uh-huh.
And
Just pay him a few bucks and they go taking a dive and, making a fortune.
this is true. And anybody who doesn't believe that or who believes that we are the only living beings in this vast universe of ours is, I think, an ignorant person.
He's an asshole. Right. Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. Hey, how about that ganja song?
How about it?
I love it.
Me too.
All
Have
right.
a great day, pal. I didn't say I was going to play it. He said, how about it? I love it. That's all I said. I'm not going to play it. I don't have time. I'll play a little bit of it to make you feel better. Just a few seconds, okay? Everybody light up now. Anybody who's against marijuana is a communist.
Way down in Jamaica in the Caribbean, they got the best herb that you ever seen.
All right. But like I said, we don't have time right now. 22 before, well, we don't. But I played a little bit, just enough time for him to light up and get, Fort Pierce. Somebody up there in Fort Pierce, get that guy. I think he's got like a little pin joint. There's probably a few good joints up there. Fort Pierce, that's a scary place, by the way. Talking about the West Coast. Oh, Fort Pierce, Vero Beach, real scary.
Beware of exploding balls.
So, how gay do you want to look today?
Pretty gay.
Like flippant raving gay or just kind of gay?
No, like really gay.
Great, lean back.
How gay do you want to look today? Come to Gay Cuts, and we'll give you the perfect hairdo to suit your alternative style.
You want that Tossy Bangs look thing or the two-layered thing around the back?
No matter how gay you are, Gay Cuts can fit your style. And don't forget to ask about our new specialty cuts, too. From back shavings to crack shavings, Gay Cuts will do it all.
Yeah, Sebastian just hates my hairy ass. If you could do something about that, we'd both be really happy.
Just bend over and say, move for me.
Gay Cuts. How gay do you want to look today?
16 till 2, by the way, we want to dedicate that to Clarence, our assistant PD, who got, I understand, through the grapevine, a very faggy haircut today, kind of like Luis Miguel, a Roman, oh, God. Why? Why do guys like that? Maybe he's looking for a date. Anyway, let's do Miami. Hello. Miami.
Hi, how you doing, Neil?
Yes, sir.
How are you, man? It's Cool Raul.
I beg your pardon?
Cool Raul.
Cool Raul, okay.
Yeah, 'cause I got the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I really didn't want to talk about
spelling over the phone. Yes?
Jason Taylor's penis, but we wanted to talk about the Jew that surrounds us here financially.
The what?
The Jew that surrounds us financially.
The Jew
now.
that surrounds you. What does that mean?
Yeah, you know what today is? Today is the 16th. They met today.
Who's they?
Well, the federals.
Oh, the Jew, Alan Greenspan?
Right.
That surrounds you?
Right. So I figured that, you're always up to the moment.
Yeah.
And I wonder what they did today.
Well, let me take a look. Let me take a peek. You can tell by whether the arrow is up or down. They're in a commercial break on Power Lunch. Well, I'll keep watching, okay? And say hi to that Jew with a big nose. Okay, get out of here. Do you know what he was saying?
All you need is a system.
Come on, get the spot up. And by the way, you notice how Ted David don't call us anymore? Yeah, he don't call anymore. I told you, since he found out I had that on-health stock. That's okay, Ted. You're becoming very chronic anyway. Get back to work and get things straightened out, okay? We got the Y2 gay to worry about. That's right. Stroke of midnight, December 31. It's going to be Y2 gay. Everybody's going to turn gay. So you better watch who's grabbing you and who you're grabbing back. Come on, let's get this damn thing over with here already for Omega Research, which we don't care about. We want to see, why don't they leave the thing on at least in between the, you know what I'm saying? On the bottom of the screen? You got some goddamn frickin' nerve. I may have to turn on CNN. I'm going to have to do it. Because CNBC just don't want to give me what I want. Oh, the Dow's up 83 points. What does that tell you?
Oh!
Of course, I don't know if they had the announcement yet. Trial date set for alleged Xerox gunman. Alleged Xerox gunman. Everybody's always alleged. The alleged murderer, Adolf Hitler. Yeah, alleged. Dow's up 84. Okay, let's go back to just one moment. Bear with me, okay? I know it's very boring if you're a schlepper and have no stock like George. Let's see. Here we go. Power lunch.
Stock, man.
Oh, the Nasdaq's up 37.
Joins us live from Lost Wages with some of the must-have gadgets you're finding there. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a good time so far, Bill, but I don't think there's anything as important as golfing and work is the...
Oh, the Fed decision ain't coming out for a half hour yet, okay? Thank God they put that up there instead of, here's a guy in Vegas having a good time. Yeah, they must, I don't know what they're getting ready for because the market's off to a good start. I'm telling you one thing, if they don't raise the rates, it's going to go through the roof. So tell that Jew with a big nose, like the guy said, to cut the crap, okay? Everything's going just fine. Oh, my God, a lady in Hialeah? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about the anthropologists and their studies. And no matter how obscure, isolated a tribe is, there's always a spiritual belief going on. Don't you think it's innate in man to look for something?
No, I don't. It's not innate.
You don't? You don't think that's proven by
No.
all of the studies they've done?
No, I don't think it's innate. I think it's just, it's like a tradition, like a custom, like, cutting your hair too short. Or too long.
No, my theory.
Yeah.
I'm
What
allowed
is your
to have
theory?
one. Right.
How much does it cost me to join, first of all?
Not a day.
Okay, good.
That it's the forces of nature that are so immense and overpowering that they want some belief system to protect them. And
Protect them from what? Protect them from what?
The forces of nature. So they look
Why can't
for
they just get in touch with nature? Why can't they respect nature and appreciate nature and work with nature,
Well, I
be part of nature
can.
instead of destroying nature?
Well, I can very much so.
Yeah.
But this is my theory as to why every tribe, no matter how obscure, has a spiritual belief system. That nature
Or maybe because we're
nature.
just all very primitive and very ignorant. Is that possible? Could that be it? That could be it.
Well, yeah, I get that feeling,
That could be.
especially when people are unscrupulous and able to take the weakness.
I mean, if you listen to the show every day, you kind of
I
get that
do
feeling.
listen to your show
There
every
you go.
day.
So you already know the answer. There's a lot of dumb people out there. A lot of weak, dumb, tragic. And have a great
But
day.
it's amazing.
And I'll pray for you.
Please.
Okay. Me and the Cro-Magnon man, we're praying for you. And Superman. Speaking of kryptonite, maybe that's what that planet is. Maybe it's kryptonite. People out there, 500 trillion, whatever that is, 839 trillion miles away. It must be Krypton. Oh, I bet you Marlon Brando's out there waiting for goddamn what's his name to come back. Who's the guy that is really very ugly and looks really good on Superman? What's his name?
Dean Cain.
Yeah. You ever see him up close?
No.
He is such a testament to the wonders of what they can do with cameras, man. That kid is so grotesque. I'll tell you who else is grotesque, who I always thought, the Bill, what's his name on CNN that does the news, Bill Hummer, that I always thought was a good-looking guy. When he was out there covering a hurricane with no makeup on, I'm telling you, man, he's got a face that even a mother could hate. Just astonishing what they can do with makeup and camera angles, and just like that Backstreet Boys video where they made Nick butch up and look almost human. Man, I'm sorry, that bitch is going to call again. Sorry, sweetheart, he's not a pineapple head. So what do you say? Should we give away those Backstreet Boy tickets in the front row? Here's a mobile in North Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how are you?
Great.
I have a couple of things to say about
what
this
are you getting for
religious
lunch?
thing.
Yes, sir.
I
Go
have
ahead.
found that they have not read the Bible, and if they did, they would realize that God, in his own admission, or at least in the admission of the Bible, is extraterrestrial.
God is what? Extraterrestrial. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's out of this world.
You know, he created it, so he couldn't be from here.
Yeah.
That's about it. Bye.
He's a foreigner. Is that what he's saying? He's a foreigner. Watch your meat, men. Male sex organs are getting sliced off at an alarming rate as the end of the millennium approaches. It's got a whole list of things here. Well, people used to have things. November 9, an Australian man was happily poking his penis into an estranged wife, reports the Brisbane Courier Mail. Their coitus was crudely interrupted by the woman's angry ex-husband, who knifed off the rod of his rival. When in doubt, he cut it out. September 27th, a suicidal 42-year-old man near Yale University tried to bleed himself to death by pruning off his phallus. The Connecticuter survived and was impelled by a local judge to accept reattachment, says the Associated Press. September 3, sex offender John Henry Brown was grossly abbreviated in Oklahoma prison by his cellmate James Todd Frozig. Physicians' attempts to sew the pedophiliac penis back on were unsuccessful. Doesn't say penis, it says. August 30th, a young Pole... Wow! A young Pole butchered up